Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Management Wanted. Let's bring the songs. We got music. Alright. Let's make sure everything's capturing. Everything is capturing. I'm pretty sure that's everything. I don't think anything's forgotten. Alright. So, as it says in the title, we are continuing, potentially finishing, I don't know. But we're continuing, it's not this one, this world, I think? Yeah, we are continuing Fazbear Fright in Minecraft.
Yes, you are. How is it going so far?
Pretty good. I've just got, like, decorating the inside left, really, I think. Because I did the roof and everything yesterday. So we just gotta wait for this world to load now. It'll take a while. It usually does take a while to load the world. That's just what it's like, though. We gotta let it do its thing. Actually, this isn't compared to like the usual. That was pretty quick. Okay then, it should be dropping us in. God, FNAF World music is so good. I don't consider myself a believer in FNAF World 2. But if it does ever happen, I will be incredibly happy. The game is peak. Alright, we're getting in. So, here we are. This is what I got. I don't have, like, a road or anything for the outside neither. But I'm worrying about the outside last, really. So give me a sec, and I'll go over everything. Yes. Alright. So this is the entrance area. There's a vent there. Because that's basically the closest in this version of Fazbear Fright to where I can get it in the game. That's the reception for where you get to enter. This one leads to an employee hallways corridor. And like, I turned the starting area into a museum section before the actual horror attraction. So there's all sorts of Freddy's memorabilia and a bunch of stuff on display, like an animatronic Endo replica, the carousel from FNAF 2, the security puppet box, and a bunch of models of older animatronics. I'll pretend you are not clipping into the light. We got this guy. And trash. Then you go into the actual horror attraction part. These are like newspapers and everything talking about the opening of Freddy's and then the incidents that happen at Freddy's. Do I like the Gummy Bear song? Yes. Yes, I do. And of course, back there you saw all the animatronic replicas and like fakes. And then here you get to see the one real animatronic that they still have, Springtrap, in front of a bunch of children's drawings and old Fredbear posters. There's no lights in here because it's a horror attraction, so there's no need. I put the nightmares around just as screamers that will scream at you. Thank you, Leon. I am pretty proud of this so far. Yeah, like you walk in here, and then this door opens up and Bonnie screams at you like a scary. I turned this hallway into like a puppet hallway for the puppet. So there's a shadow puppet statue here, just because I thought that would be fun. A cake. It's just a big reference to the Happiest Day minigames, having the cake here and the puppet. There's this dude. There's this dude just right by the door. The vent, the foxy head. This is like a foxy hallway where you get to see the cove. And then naturally Nightmare Foxy is there waiting to jump and scream again once you get past him. There's like a Spring Bonnie prop inside of a ball pit that'll like slink down into it as you approach. Then you walk into a diner room. Diner room's jump scare is different because it goes behind you. It's more subtle. So as you're walking past, this door opens up. And then if you look behind fast enough, you'll get a glimpse at Chica. Yeah, this is like a Fredbear's room. Hi, Justin. I'm doing pretty good, honestly. This room is like a walk up towards the stage, based on like The Bite of 83, where the kids carry Crying Child up to the stage. And of course, you'll notice the Spring Bonnie's not on the stage, because Spring Bonnie is elsewhere in the attraction. So we've just got a Fredbear. Then the next stop is in this parts and service room, which also has a vent. And some endos and Freddy Fazbear heads. Here is a Bonnie supply closet hallway, because I love Bonnie and supply closets. Then you enter an arcade area where Freddy gets a jump scare. Before you come out here, and this is like sort of going to be based on like an alleyway sort of thing. Where you come up here, there is a fake purple car that drives off when you get close. And then here is the FNAF 3 office with a statue Springtrap that's just temporary. I still haven't removed him. But yeah, this actual office area is about the same as it is in-game compared to everything else being different. Because I think the FNAF 3 office is way too iconic to really change. But like, some of the parts around it are different. Then there's this exit, which leads you to the restrooms, because you've just been through a horror attraction. Maybe you have to go to the bathroom. And a gift shop, where you can buy all sorts of Freddy's merch and gifts and Spring Bonnie plushes, and go tell your family that you went to Fazbear Fright and it was, I guess, a good experience is what they want you to think. So then you walk out through the back of the building. Which, yes, means that if you park your car at the front of the building, then you're gonna have to walk all the way back over there, but that's just kind of how Fazbear Fright works. That's just how it operates. That's the real scare. It's the walk back to your car. Nah, it'd probably be more of like a nice scenic thing after having been through a dark horror attraction. Alright, let's get decorating. Grab paper. Could probably throw some papers around. Who knows what they've got here. Random stuff. Now, we didn't go over the employee hallways because they're just ways for the employees to get around the attraction fast. That hallway leads into the Springtrap area so that they can get back there. And on the other side, there's like the main employee area, which has here the real security office. Because the one that's part of the attraction is fake. Here is the real one. There is employee bathroom. And this hallway basically just leads up to the purple car prop so that it can be reset. Marassa jump scare. And there's a door here leading in there too. Alright. Oh, wrong way. I don't even know the way around my own location. That's gonna happen a lot in these streams, I feel like. Maybe not though, because this one just has a lot of doors. Yeah, I finished up last stream by putting everything in this museum area. Spare suit of a misfit character rejected from the main Fazbear band. Sparky. The Mario Kart World Direct is mind-blowing. I'm very excited for that game coming out. I'm definitely gonna get it. Because, like, over a decade since we had a new Mario Kart game, not counting Tour, is insane. And I didn't play Tour.
I definitely want to grab the Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm doing. I'm gonna get the Switch 2 version of Jamboree as well, probably.
I might grab Jamboree, the Switch 2 version. I'll probably grab the Switch 2 versions of Legend ZA. Rather than getting the Switch version. And I might grab the Switch 2 version of the more recent Zelda games, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm predicting it's gonna be one hell of a day when ZA drops, and like a hell of a few weeks after as well on Twitter, and just online.
Oh yeah, non-stop spoilers I predict.
I'm more expecting like non-stop complaining.
I don't think ZA will be that bad compared to say Skal and Violet.
Me neither,
Like,
but you know what people are like. They will whine and they will whine.
Legends Arceus, I recall, wasn't that like.
Arceus I haven't actually played, but people who I know who've played it have enjoyed it. It doesn't look like it's a bad game. I think Arceus looks pretty good.
Yeah, like some of like the way the grass is done, not really the best. Like you get some FPS drops with some Pokemon.
But Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl came out around the same time frame, so like you take what you can get.
Yeah. Shadows, I wish Shadows ended further out. I wish the text quality was a bit better. I'm hoping they'll fix that with ZA, at least Switch 2 version, but I don't know if they necessarily will.
The funniest part is like if you're a little bit away from a Pokemon, their animation frame rate drops like insanely. So like it happens with Gyarados. When he's like flying around, he just kind of starts like flying at 2 frames per second.
Oh yeah, it drops from like an actual real animation like flame rate to like a PowerPoint presentation in the distance.
Yeah, and you don't really have to be that far away to trigger that.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I don't think we need gas containers here. I'm sort of operating off of like they don't really have a lot of stuff from Circus Babies, if anything at all, because Circus Babies stuff is all in the entertainment and rental area, which they might not have known about or had access to. And, well, we know where the animatronics are at this time frame.
Yeah.
At least it's a safe assumption that during this time frame the animatronics have become Ennard. And Michael got Ennard inside him.
Okay, so I think I mentioned that one video which went kind of in depth about how they think the FNAF timelines, like, as you know, it is kind of bullshit and that Charlie was actually killed in 1987. Charlie
87 has been, like, a thing for a little bit now, and it's only because of Help Wanted 2 that it took off.
Yeah. I kind of agree with some of their points, but not that Charlie was killed in 1987. I think that's wrong and stupid, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with Charlie 87.
The thing I agree with is, are we even fucking sure the DCI happened at this point?
Something happened in the 1987 location before the bite that had to get them closed for a while. Something.
Something happened near the 1987 location, at least.
There's no way that they're talking about something that happened and it's not more Dead Children at Freddy's.
We don't
and it's just a red herring.
Necessarily know that it happened in the location because...
That's interesting. Shadow Balloon Boy's eyes don't glow. I do kind of want to put him somewhere.
Actively talks about how something is going on outside the restaurant, and my thinking is that's what leads to it getting shut down. Which
Putting
sounds...
BB in the Foxy hallways sounds like a good idea.
Which I'm pretty sure is the argument they were using for Charlie 87, because, so, like, other than Help Wanted 2, that's the main bit of evidence to point. Because, oh, something happened outside the restaurant rather than inside.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's game... No, I don't necessarily think it was Charlie 87. I just think something happened outside of Freddy's, which was tied back to them and got them shut down for a bit.
The wording of whatever's going on out there is kind of confusing.
Like, something is going on out there. They got shut down for, like, a little bit because there's a fucking crime scene right outside the restaurant. That makes sense. And then they get shut down permanently because of the bite.
Yeah.
That all makes sense to me. I don't think the DCI necessarily is a thing that happened, because what, other than the mini games, what evidence do we actually have of the DCI?
Lefty DCI.
We don't have evidence of that.
Candy Cadet proves Lefty DCI good. You trust me. Candy Cadet proves it.
Okay.
Trust. Candy Cadet says that the kind man, like, the kind man brings 5 kids together so that none of them, like, so the burglar doesn't break in their house and kill them. And then a burglar breaks into his house and kills all 5 of them. And then the kind man stitches all 5 of them together into one thing and then buries them in one coffin. The coffin is Lefty.
That would suggest that Henry was... Thing is, I kind of like that, but that would mean Henry was still involved in the company at the time of FNAF 2. And we
I like
know
it too,
for
yeah.
a fact that is not right. Henry was not involved with the company when FNAF 2 was happening. He cannot possibly have been, because Ralph, who has been there since Freddy's opened in '83, does not know the owner of Fredbear's Family Diner.
Well, he knows, like... He could know, like, a DCI happened, so he's like... And then, like, the I don't know, the toys are, like, broken apart. And the spirits...
The kind man only comes into play after the burglar's been in and killed them all.
Yeah, because he wasn't there.
I don't think Lefty DCI is canon, and I don't really think there's like.
But Lefty says there is room for one more. That means that there's more than one thing in Lefty.
Like, remember, it means there's at least one thing in Lefty, that being the puffers.
I don't know. I think it's a good theory. I don't necessarily believe in it, but I don't think it's the stupidest theory I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It at least gives the DCI something to do. So I respect it for that.
Like Foxy being a good guy.
That theory only exists because Foxy has a dogshit jump scare in FNAF 1.
Here's my thing with DCI, right? I don't think the DCI happened, because I think if the DCI happened, that is a shit story. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes of it. Oh, all the MCI kids get their happiest day in FNAF 3. Cool. What happens to the DCI kids? Are they just still out there possessing some shit?
Scott Coffin is the greatest writer on Earth. I don't know what do you want me to tell you. Scott Coffin's the greatest writer on Earth.
This isn't even Scott Coffin's writing. This is shit the fans have decided on. Like, oh, well, what? The other kids in Happiest Day, yeah, they're not dead. Those are living kids we see.
Yeah, but
in
Andrew,
Happiest
but
Day.
Andrew is there. Look, Andrew is there.
Andrew may well be in Happiest Day. It doesn't change the fact he's still alive.
He got Andrew inside him.
Like, the 5 MCI kids are there, dead. Everyone else who's there is fucking alive. And you can tell they're alive because they are in colour.
Who do you think is the
As
receiver? Actually, that's a good point. Nobody has ever, to my knowledge, nobody has ever said that in anything I've watched. that the other kids are in colour.
It's a pretty consistent theme throughout all the FNAF mini games, where living kid, in colour, dead kid, black and white, right? That is consistent.
Yeah.
And no one has put 2 and 2 together and been like, well, maybe these aren't the DCI kids, maybe they're alive. No. They are alive. Those are living children in that FNAF 3 minigame. So the DCI is in no way connected to Happiest Day. It's in no way connected to anything, as far as I can tell.
I've had so many FNAF theories, it's really, really funny to talk about.
The incident with the dead kids that we see in the FNAF 2 minigames is the missing children's incident. It might not entirely line up with the way it's depicted in later media, but that's because that is later media. They can decide, we are going to change how we depict these things. There can be inconsistencies like that. That is okay.
So who do you think is the receiver in Happiest Day? Is it Cassidy, or is it Bite Victim, or is it Andrew? Hello, Fright.
I think it is most likely Andrew. No.
I want to say it's Bite Victim. Because otherwise, what the fuck is he doing after Happiest Day?
Can I just say, I've got to point this out, I was not joking when I said Andrew there. I actually did misspeak and say Andrew for real.
I'm planting the Andrew seeds inside your brain.
Yeah, I'm planting the Andrew seeds inside my brain. You talk about it so much that it's starting to make sense to me. No, I agree it's Bite Victim. I agree it's Bite Victim, because one thing we know a lot is that Scott Cawthon, he will
the
put
greatest
out
writer
one
on
game.
earth.
Other than that, he will put out one game and then he will put out details. He will put information in the next game to clarify it. Right?
Yeah.
We saw this with FNAF 1. Puts out FNAF 1. What do we see in FNAF 2? Well, we see...
I do pretty good, Brenington.
We see more about the MCI, which is in... which is first mentioned in FNAF 1. We get some clue as to what the Bite of 87 is. What do we see in FNAF 3? Well, we see what happened afterwards. What sort of came of the restaurant afterwards. That ties up the story of the MCI completely with Happiest Day.
Yeah.
Then, well, whose Happiest Day is it? Is it the MCI victim that's in Golden Freddy? If it just ended at FNAF 3, I would have said, no, Cassidy is the receiver of Happiest Day.
Yeah. The thing is, apparently Return to the Pit wants to say, apparently Return to the Pit has evidence that it is Cassidy because, Oswald runs around giving cake to children and he gives the last one to a girl with black hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that. I just choose to ignore it.
Is the Happiest Day ending canon?
I mean, it's probably canon, but, it means very little nowadays because the MCI are still in the fun times or somewhere.
We kind of just assumed Happiest Day was canon, right?
Yeah, because it's the good ending, so...
If the MCI kids are still in the fun times, it can't be.
I mean, it can...
Happiest Day might not even be canon.
It can be, it just fails. On Happiest Day.
Either Happiest Day fails, or that ending's just not canon. And I think that kind of makes sense. But if we go down the route of Happiest Day's canon, with the current state of FNAF laws in, like I was saying, Scott Cawthon, he releases a game, but he releases another to clarify it. FNAF 4, I think, was put out there to clarify a bit about Fredbears, which we've heard about previously, but it explains this is who Happiest Day is for. And then Sister Location, that comes out. What does that clarify from the earlier games? That confirms the name of William Afton, that we already kind of knew about from the books, which were canon at the time in some weird, fucked up way.
Yeah. They were meant to, be used to solve the canon or something.
I think that's still the case, and people just don't like to accept that.
Yeah. And I can't blame them for not wanting to accept dog shit.
How did we learn that there's two people in Golden Freddy?
It wasn't just the logbook, because the logbook doesn't give us enough information to say that this is Golden Freddy. There we go. Did I see new Pillar Chase stuff? I've seen a few new Pillar Chase things. I haven't seen all the leaks. I'm not really big on, like, leaking, so I don't keep up with it too much.
All the logbook really shows us is that there's two spirits conversing, and it tells us a bit about those spirits, right?
Yeah.
We could kind of make the guess that maybe they're a bite victim, but the thing that maybe one of them's bite victim, but the thing that really gave away that this was about two spirits in one animatronic, that was the fucking Fazbear Fright books.
Oh yeah, it will have been, obviously, Citrate. Because it's like a parallel. Oh, I said the word, I said the word!
We are objectively meant to use the books to try and solve the game canon.
Yeah.
They're not one-to-one, but that is a tool we have been very deliberately provided by Scott Cawthon. But a lot of the FNAF community look at that one Steam community post where he says, well, they're not in the same continuity, but they are both canon. And it's like, nope, we can just ignore them, they're not important.
No, I agree pretty much, like, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, I've heard before that Step Closer as a story literally only exists because of Mike Victim.
Yeah.
And so Scott wrote a story to say, no, this is why Mike Victim isn't canon.
Scott Cawthon straight up came out, and one of those stories is him just straight up debunking a theory that the fandom was arguing about, and people will still try to argue we should not use the books to solve the game lore. And I do think a big part of I think a big part of the reason for that is MatPat.
MapPap. I mean, MapPat was like the one spreading the Mike Victim propaganda.
No, not even that. That's not even where I'm going with this.
I've seen the MX Power Hop rework thing. That looks insane.
I fully believe that part of the reason the FNAF fandom is so unwilling to accept that the books are a tool we are meant to use is because MatPat told them that first.
Maybe, yeah.
MatPat has been was trying to use the books to solve the games since the Silver Eyes came out, and they were getting massive amounts of shit from the FNAF community for it since the Silver Eyes came out.
Yeah.
And it turns out, nope, we are meant to use the books to solve the games.
Yeah.
They have been used to communicate so much to us now about what theories are right, what theories are wrong. Didophobia, as much shit as it gets, isn't really introducing anything new. Didophobia is reminding us of something that first appeared in the games, back in Sister Location.
The gas containers and stuff. Even though don't illusion discs serve like the exact same purpose as the fear gas?
Well, if illusion discs are doing the illusion discs of the books, I think are doing the exact same fucking thing as Sister Location confirmed, and as Didophobia reiterated, that being that the FNAF 4 nightmares are not literal actual dreams someone is having, but rather they are an experiment. They are something that is being intentionally created by Afton to fuck with someone.
I still think it's both. Michael, Mr. Michael Afton knows about Nightmare Fredbear and draws him. And I don't know if Michael went in that chamber. If he did, it's funny because, like, you killed your brother, fuck you, get in my nightmare chamber.
Well, here's the thing. I am unsure, because if we go down the route that during the night segments you are playing Bite Victim, I don't think so. I don't think that really works. But
no.
The thing is, if we go down the route that you are playing Michael in those night sections, I also don't think that really works. Because there is all that hospital equipment still.
Well, that could just be like, you know, more of like... Because he's having the nightmare because of guilt, so he's seeing hospital equipment because of guilt. Because he's guilty, because he put his brother in hospital.
My belief is that if we go down the route that it's bite victim, then yeah, everything we actually see in the night itself makes sense, but subsequent material, I don't think so necessarily. But the route I am gonna go down is, I believe that it is Michael after experiencing it. I believe it is the experiments. And the reason for that is the endo that we see in Nightmare, and then literally sister location, and then everything else we see. I think the illusion, even if it's not literally illusion discs or it's not literally hallucinogenic gas in the games, I think the novel trilogy with the illusion discs, and I think Didophobia with gas, is trying to tell us that yes, what we saw in sister location with the experiment chambers is correct. The FNAF 4 night segments are not an actual nightmare, they are an experiment William Afton is performing.
Inventing the gas just makes no sense to me when the illusion discs are already a thing that exist.
Thing is, people already hated the illusion discs.
Yeah, so why would you just make it again?
Well, I think it's a deliberate thing. It's like, I think it would be easier for people to ignore if it was the illusion discs. I think if it's got I think the reason it's gas is to make it more obvious that no, I have told you this already with the novel trilogy and with sister location. I am telling you it again in a different way now, just so you can get it through your skull. FNAF 4 nightmares aren't nightmares, they're an experiment.
I guess so. Forest King can trap anyone and shoots walls so they can't escape. I'm seeing, like, they are, like, giving the monsters, like, insane abilities and privileges, because I'm pretty sure it's because they're, like, giving survivors different perks as well.
Nice.
So survivors are getting more abilities too. So they kind of have to give the monsters a couple new tricks.
You know, I do really enjoy being on your streams, because I can't really stream as much now with my work schedule.
Yeah.
If my work schedule does even out a bit, there's a lot of things I want to stream though. When I move, I want to get a hand cam set up.
Oh.
So I can stream myself building model kits, painting miniatures, that sort of thing.
Hold on. Why have I got two vents here leading into the exact same room? What's going on here? What was I cooking?
But I do... I mean, a 5-star gourmet meal if your previous builds are anything to go off of.
Vent... Hold on. Where's the thing for vent triggers?
Here, there's one bad thing I will say about both of our FNAF builds, right? I fucking hate our exteriors.
How come?
I am not happy with them. Ever. Not even my own.
I don't mind my exteriors most of the time. I mean, the FNAF 2 one I like a lot.
I think the problem is the shape of the building for me.
I don't know why I
A lot
put
of
two
the
vents
time.
in there.
Because, like, a lot of the FNAF building shapes are kind of awkward. Like, they just have this sort of weird growth sticking off one side, you know? unless we add in more maps, like more rooms and areas to make it make more sense. Like if we add a kitchen and a safe room to make the building actual, like a manager's office to make the building actually square.
That's just not opening.
Because
What?
so many
Huh?
of
What?
so many of the FNAF layouts, I don't think end up being like a proper square building.
Most of the time they don't really know.
And I wish they did, because it makes sense. Like, most buildings you see are fucking squares. Or rectangles.
Yeah. Let's see what shape this Fazbear Fright is. This is, well, that part at the ending there is because of, like, the whole exit place.
It's not helped by the fact that we have to increase the size a lot to fit in all the detail.
I still think it works.
Like, we could fit like two of our local McDonald's into one of our restaurants.
That's just how it works. Local McDonald's don't have, like, arcades or ball pits.
I mean, true. To be fair, neither do a lot of Freddy's locations. Does FNAF 1 have an arcade?
I think it has cabinets just in the dining hall, if anything. At least an SFM map of it has that.
I
So
don't
that's where I'm pulling that from.
think we ever see an arcade on any of FNAF 1 cameras.
What else can we add here?
FNAF 2 at least does, I believe.
Yeah, that's the game area.
But even then, the only thing we see in the game area on the cameras is a fucking carousel.
Really? No arcade machines? Where
I
did the,
swear it
where the
was.
fuck did the, like... I thought that was where the Freddy Bonnie Chica arcade machines came from, with the animatronics on them. No, that was FNAF 3.
That's FNAF 3. FNAF 3 is the first fucking Freddy's It's not even a Freddy's location, it's Fazbear Fright.
Yes, which means that the arcades have to have existed in the other locations. We just didn't see them, because
No.
I guess Scott didn't add them.
They could have existed in the 83 location, or if you buy into my shadow animatronic theory, they could have existed in the FNAF 2 location back when it was used pre-1985.
Hmm. Maybe.
And I mean, it would make sense. Arcade cabinets are expensive. When they're reopening on a tighter budget, it would make sense for them not to have them.
Yeah. There is the theory, though. There's the theory that the 83 location and, like, the 93... No, the 85 location and the 93 or whatever location are the same location.
Well, I think the MCI location and the FNAF 1 location are the same location.
Yeah.
I do just think that the FNAF 2 location was being used at the same time as the MCI. It shut down and then it reopened in 87.
Maybe.
My argument for that is mainly that the shadow animatronics are a thing that exists, and we know for a fact from the children's drawings that there has to have been a Springlock suit in use at that restaurant.
Yeah. In fact, from
Which
the
would make no
children's
sense.
drawings, the unwitheds were a thing being used at the restaurant.
Well, from the children's drawings, so the FNAF 1 cast were used at that restaurant at some point. And
some point.
so was a Springlock suit, and the fact a Springlock suit was used places it firmly before the MCI.
Yeah. Well, somebody uses Golden Freddy on night 6 of FNAF 2. Uses...
But those drawings are still.
Yeah.
I
And that's
What
when
theory-
that's not when the drawings appear. That's just when Golden Freddy activates.
So, have you seen the Solving FNAF by playing it video?
I don't
Or
know if I
videos.
have. I don't know if I have.
Because they went down the route with FNAF, because they play FNAF 1, they solve the law as it stands in FNAF 1. They play FNAF 2, they add FNAF 2 onto that. Pretty simple concept. And something they say, which I quite like, is bear in mind, we are ignoring everything that releases after FNAF 2, right? This is just those first 2 games.
Yeah.
FNAF 2 isn't just
big
about
guy.
finding out more about that killer. It is about Golden Freddy and their story. And what they say they believe is that Golden Freddy was killed after everyone else. They are the last victim, and they are killed using the suit in the back. They are stuffed inside that.
Yeah, I definitely believe Cassidy was last and Springlocked. I don't know if I believe it was 87, but I believe, the rest of it.
It being 87 makes sense in the context of those first 2 games.
Yeah.
Once
But then
we
you go into,
get-
Casa DCI.
I mean, even FNAF 3, it makes sense. It makes sense for a decent bit.
Yeah.
It makes sense up until after Sister Location, I'd say, because that's when we got the logbook. I mean, if you're like me and you don't believe the DCI was a thing that actually happened, Cassidy dying in 1987 as the final victim of William Afton could work.
Yeah.
And I do quite like that.
Shadow Freddy is such an interesting motherfucker. He really does only ever, show up when William is involved. So, I definitely think, Shadow Freddy is at least some sort, to some extent, an antagonistic force.
You know what would convince me of the DCI having happened? Literally anything. Even if it is only one piece of evidence tying Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie to those 2 incidents, like some people theorize.
Yeah. I don't know if they're connected to the DCI or MCI. I think...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have my own story for Shadow Bonnie. I don't know if their origins can be explained. I just think that Shadow Freddy in general is coming from William's crimes.
Well, my PowerPoint presentation, which you've not seen, because I'm not really happy with it at the moment, I do want to do more work on it at some point.
What'll I do when
Does
I'm done
kind
with the
of
pizzeria?
explain.
Don't know, I'll just screw around probably.
It does kind of explain why I believe that Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie cannot possibly be tied to the DCI. And it's a pretty simple thing, right?
Yeah.
So, if we assume the DCI happens, when does it happen?
87.
Not the year, the day. What night of FNAF 2 is the first night after the DCI?
I don't really know. Probably...
Because there's nothing mentioning those dead kids in the phone call.
No.
Is it someone using one of the suits? You know, putting on the yellow suit, wearing it, killing those kids, and now none of the animatronics are acting right? Is that the first night after the DCI? I mean, that would make sense to me, right?
Maybe.
That's night 6 though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the shadow animatronics can show up on night 1.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know when it happens.
I mean, people generally speaking agree the DCI happens at some point during that week, right?
Yeah.
But that would mean that shadow animatronics exist before the DCI happens.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything to do with DCI.
So they can't, right?
I do want to put Shadow Bonnie somewhere in here, just because Shadow Bonnie is in play in FNAF 3. Shadow Bonnie is a force at play.
Yeah.
They have a statue that appears sometimes in your office, but that's not in this mod, sadly. I kind of want to throw them by, like, an arcade, because, you know, that's the connection they have, arcade. Because Shadow Bonnie does the arcade game.
So, have I explained...
I think here, right under the camera is good.
Have I explained the basic gist of my Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy theory to you before?
Yeah, I think you said that, like, Shadow Bonnie is, like, a purely digital entity.
No. I didn't go that far. Right.
Ah.
But that sounds like an interesting theory. I wonder where you actually got that one from now.
I don't know. Maybe I just misunderstood.
So my theory is, right, well, I'll start with the things I noticed that led to this, right?
Yeah.
A Springlock suit was at one point used in the FNAF 2 location.
Yes.
Springlock suits were retired prior to 1985. So that has to have been pre-1985. Meaning the FNAF 2 location was open before the Springlock suits there.
Yeah.
FNAF 3
Audio
and
lures.
FNAF 2
That's what I need to
are
do.
the only appearances of the shadow animatronics.
Hey? Wait, what?
FNAF 2 and FNAF 3.
No, they're not. Like,
I mean FNAF World.
there's FNAF AR as well. Shadow Bonnie's there, protecting
Okay.
Remnant.
FNAF AR I am not sure about. Because I don't even know when in the timeline that fucking is.
It's gotta be, like,
know.
post 6. It's post 6,
It's
like,
got to be post 6.
maybe, probably pre-security breach, but, like, around the time of, like, Help Wanted security breach.
No.
But that would mean that even after, like, the FNAF 6 fire, Shadow Bonnie is still here for some reason.
Okay.
So I think
So,
Shadow Bonnie
actually-
might be beyond Freddy Fazbear's. They might just be a god entity in this world.
So here's something I quite like timeline-wise, right?
Yeah?
When does FNAF 3 take place? Well, it's 30 years after Freddy's closed his doors and all the rumours surrounding that. So it's 30 years after FNAF 1.
Pretty
So it's
much.
2023.
Yeah, unless you're Gibby.
Or me. I don't know what can be said about this. I refuse to watch them on moral grounds, right?
I didn't watch the 2023 video either. Thing is, Gibby shows up so much in other people's videos that, like, I have seen their stuff. Just because they're in other people's videos.
There is a game, I believe, is set in the 2020s. But it's not FNAF 3. I believe FNAF 3 is set in 2015, the same year it comes out. Why? Well, that's not 30 years after FNAF 1, is it?
No, it's 30 years after, like, MCI.
But what about FNAF 1's closure would lead to rumours? There is no legend surrounding FNAF 1's closure. It was just closed because it was a failure of a restaurant. There's nothing interesting there, nothing to base a horror attraction around.
Yeah.
But there is a Freddy's location that we know was closed due to 5 kids getting fucking killed, and that was 1985, and I'm sure that stirs up a lot of rumours.
It looks worse, but I'm gonna have to connect the cameras to the ceiling instead of the walls if I want the audio lures to work. Kinda sucks. But,
Like,
it's a minor detail.
I fully believe that the 30 years after Freddy Fazbear Street's closest straw is referring to 30 years after the MCI. Because it even goes as far as to say, the events that took place there have become nothing more than a rumour and a childhood memory. But the owners of Fazbear Fright's horror attraction are determined to revive the legend. There would be no event for FNAF 1.
Yeah.
It's either talking about FNAF 2, in which case it would take place in 2017, or I think more likely FNAF 1.
Yeah, probably.
Not FNAF 1, the MCI.
MCI location, which is distinctly
Yeah.
not FNAF 1. Probably maybe same location, but not the FNAF 1.
Yeah. So I think that's 30 years after MCI.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next? What would be the next game in the timeline?
After MCI?
No, after FNAF 3.
After FNAF 3, that's 6. 6 definitely comes, like, not long after 3. Because I don't know how long Springtrap is out and about in the wilderness.
You know what game released 30 years after A Bite of 87?
Pizza
By
Sim.
sheer coincidence, it's Pizza Sim. And I think that makes sense.
No, Kieran.
Plenty of time.
Scott Cawthon doesn't do coincidences. You know this. He doesn't do coincidence. He released that game in that specific year on purpose. He planned out FNAF 3 to be 30 years. Like, he planned it to be in real time.
Well, yeah, and I think Pizza Racing comes out in 2017.
Gotta move the redstone now.
Pizzeria Sim takes place in 2017.
Springtrap's on the run for 3 fucking years?
2.
Still.
2 years. Which, look at how much damage he took between FNAF 3 and FNAF 6.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Now, the next major release we have is we're going to ignore Ultimate Custom Night because that doesn't really play into a timeline that much. That's just William Afternoon Hell.
Yeah, Ultimate Custom Night
release
could take place literally any point in the timeline after FNAF 6.
The next major release we have is Help Wanted and FNAF AR Special Delivery,
Yeah.
which both come out in 2019. FNAF AR, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say since we, the player, in the year of our Lord 2019, were playing the game and experiencing the events of FNAF AR in real time, that FNAF AR is set in 2019.
That is really not long after FNAF 6.
It's not. But Freddy Fazbear's as a corporate entity was still around. Because someone was paying Steve Snodgrass to make all those games. Someone let Henry do the
fucking
FNAF
name.
6.
Scott Cawthon called his fucking self-insert character Steve Snodgrass.
Yeah, someone was paying Steve Snodgrass to make all those games. Someone.
I'm sorry. I can't fucking take Steve Snodgrass seriously, I really can't.
I know. Someone let Henry have the rights to the Freddy's characters to open the FNAF 6 location. Like, Freddy Fazbear's as a corporate entity still existed. They had to.
Freddy Fazbear.
I'd go a step further. I'd even go so far as to potentially say that Fazbear Fright was funded by Freddy Fazbear.
I mean, it probably was.
Naming your horror attraction Fazbear Frights and advertising it based off that urban legend about all the kids going missing at Freddy Fazbear's and having all the Freddy Fazbear's characters and branding to advertise your horror attraction. Ignore the arson for a second. The thing that's gonna shut them down even faster than that is Fazbear Entertainment lawyers.
Yeah. Unless at the time we were supposed to assume that Fazbear Entertainment went under after FNAF 1, but then, like, that's clearly not the case now.
Well, someone was holding on to the rights. Someone owned those still. Even if they did go under, someone still owned all that.
Yeah.
Now, here's where things get spicy. So FNAF AR, it takes place in real time. We're seeing everything in real time. That's 2019.
What did you just say?
But this is when things get spicy.
No, before that, you said, my brother. Alright.
Now, this is where things get really spicy, because if FNAF AR's in 2019, what does that mean happens in 2019?
Shadow Bonnie is running around with
No.
remnants.
No. What does
Vanessa.
it mean timeline-wise? Vanessa gets her job.
Well, yeah, we know that because we're playing as Vanessa in Help Wanted, because we get glitch trapped.
So Help Wanted must be set just a wee bit before FNAF AR picks up. Or hell, maybe even while FNAF AR's ongoing. Because we see that shift in her behaviour in the AR emails.
Yeah. But we don't know if those are even meant to be canon. I mean, they were, but they're never used.
Just bear with me for a second, right?
Yeah.
Bear with me for 1 second. Because we see a calendar in Security Breach, right?
Yeah.
And that's what gives us it being set in the 2030s. Because we see we get a day for Security Breach happening. It's the night between Friday the 9th and Saturday the 10th.
I don't know if
Now,
we can trust that.
Well, there's a couple of years that could be, right? And you know, Security Breach was delayed a decent bit, right?
Yeah.
I
Like,
think the calendar can...
wasn't the calendar like a stock asset, though?
I believe that the calendar, if we take the date as canon, can potentially give us a time frame, not necessarily for when Security Breach is set, but for when it was initially intended to be set.
Sure, I need to go around with redstone modules now. I should have picked those up from the beginning.
Because Friday 9th of March gives a few years it could be. I don't believe Security Breach is set in 2035 like people think. I think it's set in the one before that, 2029. But I believe it was originally intended to be set even earlier.
Why would they, like, base the in-game dates off of real life, though?
I think, given how much we know it was delayed, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it might have even been intended to be set in 2018. And it just got delayed that fucking much.
I highly doubt that at this point.
Me too, but let's face it, Scott Coffin, given his track record of how frequently he was releasing games, is exactly the type of guy who might expect Steel Wolf to be able to make Security Breach in 1 year.
Given how he's the greatest writer on Earth. He makes Token fucking look like a worm.
I don't believe Security Breach can be set in 2018, because that would put it before Help Wanted, that would put it before FNAF AR.
Yeah.
I believe it's probably set in the 2020s. Early 2020s. Which would line up with its release date of 2021. I mean, that works, because that's enough time for Vanessa to get a bad job. As we've seen in FNAF AR and in Security Breach. That's enough for her to do her job for a bit, for people to realise she is not competent. It's enough time for the staff program to be developed and all the living staff to be replaced. It's enough time for the place to start fucking falling apart from poor management. I think it kind of works out.
Maybe. Hello, Shadow Freddy.
The only thing it does not necessarily give enough time for is for the actual location to be built.
Yeah.
I mean, if we look at, say, the Mall of America, which is the largest mall in the United States.
Isn't, like... Hold on. Is the teaser for Security Breach that's in Help Wanted supposed to be in-universe? Where, like, which would mean that Help Wanted came out before the Pizzaplex was actually built. I don't know if that teaser's meant to be in-universe, but it is in the game. And the game is in-universe. it might be an in-universe teaser for the actual Pizzaplex.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I'd totally forgotten about that.
Welcome back, Rita. Yeah, no, I just remembered. Like, that's a thing. The friggin' teaser for Security Breach that's in Help Wanted.
Fazbear Entertainment is hiring. They'd probably want to be putting that up a decent bit before the Pizzaplex is open, right? Maybe a year or so before.
Yeah.
Which would kind of line up with the Pizzaplex operating and Security Breach being set in the early 2020s.
Ooh.
Big brain moment. No, but back to the shadows, right?
Yeah, kind of lost track of Shadow Bonnie and Remnant and Shadow Freddy and like being Shadow Freddy. I don't know what the fuck Shadow Freddy is.
Let's ignore FNAF AR for now, okay? Because that is an instance where we know specifically Fazbear Entertainment, the company, is meddling with the animatronics that appear in that game.
Yeah, I mean, the animatronics in that game are like replicas built by Fazbear, I'm pretty sure. There's no way it's not.
Yeah, so let's look at their only two other appearances. FNAF 2 and FNAF 3.
And Ultimate Custom Night.
Well, UCN's in hell.
UCN is in hell, so that...
There.
I mean, Shadow Bonnie is one of the few characters that might be real in there.
Yes.
Just because. Like, who knows, though? Shadow Bonnie, judging by it, like, protecting Remnant, probably has better things to do than be in hell with William 24/7.
So, stuff I noticed, right? So, Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy are at FNAF 2, and then they're later at FNAF 3. We know the Springlock animatronics were at FNAF 2 in use from the children's drawings, which means that has to have been opened previously, prior to 1985.
Yeah, and you can't even say, like, ooh, they're old drawings, because it says, like, My Day at the New Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The new,
exactly.
Which means that Golden Freddy, at some point before the game, was in use at FNAF 2.
Yeah. And to make matters even worse, we know for a fact it can't just be because it's been open for 2 weeks at that point. We can't just say they were using them for the first week because we know from the newspaper that the toy animatronics were there for the reopening.
Yeah.
What do you make of the add-on that overhauls the Minecraft animations to look like the Bowser fart gif?
I've seen that tweet! I've seen that tweet!
Not, and I don't care to.
I don't... It's the actions and stuff animations pack for Minecraft that, like, makes the... I've seen someone compare it to, like, the 24 frames per second Mario 3 animation. Dude, I think it's real. I think the comparisons are really funny. I don't mind it too bad. It's just not my sort of thing.
So, they appear in FNAF 2, FNAF 3. We know the Spring animatronics were used in FNAF 2 location prior to 85. What else do we know? Well, FNAF 3 tells us about the Springlock animatronics quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it tells us about a multiple simultaneous Springlock location at a Springlock failure at a sister location, leading to them being retired due to safety.
Yeah. That's a
Cut to a couple of years later, we get a game, sister location.
Oh my god, I keep making the wrong freaking thing for the road.
A game called Sister Location, which is not actually set at a sister location. It's a location owned by a sister company. So, no, it is not the same thing, Scott Coffin. Learn terminology before you use it, please and thank you.
When will I finish? Who knows? Well, he says, like...
Sister Location.
I mean, this is less egregious, but he does refer to FNAF 2 as a summer job when it's in, like, November. I think that is, like, actually applicable, though, because, like, where he's from, summer job can be referred to, like, at any point in time, as long as it's, like, a temporary job.
So, anyway, sister location. The Springlock suit, there is one there. We know it was never used for its intended purpose. If it was never used for its intended purpose, why would that prompt them to say, no, the animatronics are unsafe for you to use even for their intended purpose, right? Like, if it was being used for its intended purpose, someone putting it on and wearing it properly, surely then I'd get it, yes, if that one failed, yes. But it was never used for that, we know that, Baby tells us that.
Yeah. And as much of an unreliable person as Baby is, I don't think she's lying about the Springlock suit. She has no reason to.
Yeah.
But how would she? How the fuck would she know? I guess because what technicians have been like gossiping about while she was there.
Remember, it was only open one day.
Yeah.
One day!
And that was all it took for William to neglect his child enough for her to go off and get fucking killed.
And anyway, there's suggestions, law-wise, that maybe that was even pre-
Will care, by the way.
By a decent bit.
Will care believers when William lets his daughter die because he doesn't pay attention to her on the first fucking day of operation.
Will care's just like...
Holy shit. The fact Mangle is based off the Funtime Foxy character means that Circus Babies has to predate Mangle, meaning it has to predate the pre-FNAF 2 use of the FNAF 2 location in 85, meaning it has to predate the MCI.
I think William was like, I'm working on a prototype animatronic, here my daughter, you can have this fucking, I don't know, mess to shut you up. And then she puts it in our room and he's like, wow, this is Daddy's work, this is so cool. I have this fucking mess in my room. I love it.
Yeah. But anyway, so we know Circus Babies Entertainment Rental has to have been before the MCI anyway. So if that's the case, why would there be such a wide gap?
Sorry, this is still not relevant, but like, it's God Victim.
God damn it. God Victim, I kind of like his worst part.
God Victim. It started as a bit, but like it started making more sense to the point where even the guys who made it as a joke started believing in it.
It's a stupid name for an actual
God Victim.
But anyway, so we know it can't have possibly been that Springlock suit that was multiple simultaneous Springlock failures, right?
Yeah.
In large part because of the multiple simultaneous part as well, because there's only one suit there.
Yeah, but there's multiple Springlocks in the suit. Maybe like only one lock went off. That's like never been a thing though. Usually when a Springlock failure happens, every single lock goes off.
Every Springlock failure is going to be every single lock, because guess what? They go off when they get wet, and what happens if one of them goes off? Blood fucking everywhere.
True.
Because you've just been stabbed by a giant chunk of metal.
True.
So every Springlock failure is going to set off multiple other Springlocks within. I interpret multiple simultaneous Springlock failures as being multiple suits. So
that's how we see it in the movie too. Only one goes off at first, and then William's like, and then the more go.
The blood sets more off.
Yeah, the more go, and then he's like, oh no, I always come back.
I'm pretty sure that's even how it's described in the novel trilogy.
Probably. I mean, novel trilogy, yeah. I was thinking about Fazbear Frights, because... but, like, yeah, there are multiple descriptions of Springlock failures in Fazbear Frights. Some of them way more descriptive than others.
In that, what we see of the Springlock failure in FNAF 3 kinda supports it. Because it is like a sudden burst of blood, and then shit gets really bad, and he starts like actually dying and collapsing with them all turning on.
Yeah.
I like to think that was maybe a bit of foreshadowing, but who knows?
When I incorporate an overblown Gaster circle in my Undertale Sans fan fight.
Anyway.
Gaster.
Multiple simultaneous Springlock failures. So we need a location that we know was a Freddy's location separate to the MCI one, because it was a sister location. We need a location that we know had Springlock suits in it, and where we know they were in use prior to the MCI. Which would be the FNAF 2 location.
Yeah.
Continue.
And what do we see at the FNAF 2 location? We know there's two Springlock suits that Fazbear has. There's the Bonnie one and the Freddy one. And what do we see at the FNAF 2 location?
Well, we see the shadows.
We see these weird remnant agony things made in the image of Freddy and Bonnie.
We see agony on the walls.
And where do we see these things again?
FNAF 3.
FNAF 3. And what do we know is at the FNAF 3 location?
The sprung trap.
A spring lock suit.
So, you're telling me the reason that Shadow Freddy follows William everywhere is because he's a spring lock now? And so Shadow Freddy follows the spring lock because C got spring lock?
The reason that Shadow animatronics in general follow him everywhere. Because, let's get back to FNAF AR for a second. Because Shadow animatronics are there too, right?
Bonnie, at least.
What else is in FNAF AR as one of the animatronics you can get?
A bunch of fake spring traps.
Which spring trap? And the spring trap in FNAF AR, let me tell you, it looks an awful lot like an actual spring lock suit. Especially with the whole, fake dead guy inside it.
I still believe the whole Shadow Freddy being William's stand thing maybe just because I want to.
I can't believe they had to make an AR game even part of the canon to begin with. Like, they're just everything that's produced officially is part of the canon.
Look, when FNAF VR was still coming out, I was thinking that it was going to be like a collection of like an actual technician at Freddy Fazbear's from like FNAF 1's job, instead of like being later on the timeline. I don't like the story of Help Wanted at all. I just, Glitch Trap looks cool, and that's about as much as I can give it.
For what it's worth, I think after today's discussion, it might be one of the most valuable games for working out the later timeline.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't give a fuck about the later timeline. That'd be so real.
Because we play as Vanessa, if we know when FNAF VR set, which I like to believe would be the year it released 2019,
when did you get
we
onto
can
VR?
figure out from bar.
Well, we've gone to VR because, we were talking about dates earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about dates earlier on the timeline. But anyway, I think FNAF VR is really useful because we know we're playing as Vanessa in bar, right?
Yeah.
So if we figure out where FNAF VR is, which seeing as it's an in-universe game which actually exists, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's, 2019, when all the copyright information for the game is.
I just realised I didn't give this place a parking lot. I kind of don't care.
We can use that to figure out when AR, at least the emails from it, and security breach must be set.
Goodbye, Bernita. Have a good day.
Because, if it's set in 2035, like people think, then, I don't know, how old do we think Vanessa? Let's just say she's a legal adult so she can start working, right?
Probably, yeah.
And if we say that's 2019...
She might be around the same age she is in the movie. I don't know.
It's 16 years later. If she's 18, she'd be in her 30s. If she's in her 20s, she could be pushing her 40s by that point. And I don't think she's that old in Security Breach.
No. She's definitely not that old in Security Breach.
In large part, because if she was, and she did get took over by Glitch Trap to try to work a security position at Freddy's, she'd have literally any amount of security experience come Security Breach.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't, and we know she doesn't.
Yeah. What do you think about Nightmare and Shadow Freddy? Do you think they're the same thing because of what the game files said? Because the game files calls him Shadow Freddy.
Okay.
Or do you think he is just like a gas thing that's actually just in the experiments and he's not really anything more?
Let me go to the FNAF 4 section of my... There's a FNAF 4 section in here fucking somewhere. I know I put a FNAF 4 section in here somewhere. Ah, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So here is everything I wrote about Shadow Freddy's appearance in FNAF 4.
Yeah.
Shadow Freddy kind of maybe appears in FNAF 4. Internally, Nightmare is referred to as Shadow Freddy. But I don't really like to use file names as proof of things.
But Kieran, But Kieran, he was here. He was here. I mean, what else is he was here trying to be, if not a fucking, like, hint towards the lore? But I think that's, like, the only one.
He was here as just like...
I don't think the, like, skull, the Mike skull, means anything at all. I'll be honest.
No, it does. Remember, it was in the code for FNAF 1. 2.
No, it wasn't.
He was here has to have meant
Mangle Ascension.
something.
Do you not remember the new skull texture in the FNAF 2 files called Mike?
Yeah, that's what the one I'm talking about. You said FNAF 1.
Yeah, then I said 2.
I like the idea that he was here is just the either Mangle saying that Afton was there, because something we see fairly consistently throughout some of the mini games is that Foxy is a witness to Afton's crimes.
Oh my god, the witness.
Like we see it in Foxy Go Go Go.
Maybe not like literally, but like it's something that happens twice in FNAF 2 alone. Foxy sees the dead kids, and then Mangle says he was here. I mean, it doesn't really say anything more than Mangle is possessed and saw what was going on. And we kind of already figured Mangle was possessed, because what the fuck is going on with Mangle? Mangle is like climbing on the ceiling. Bitch is possessed. Mangle goes on to assumedly bite the guard. Probably fucking possessed by something. If I had to throw like a guess out there, I'd say Mangle is possessed.
I have some concerns about Mangle being possessed.
And depending on what she does in the movie, we may see more and more that, yeah, she's possessed.
Because here's my concern about if Mangle's possessed or not, right?
Yes?
How?
Well, who knows?
Because
could be the MCI, could be the puppet, could be DCI.
Thing is, they can't be possessed from the MCI because there's 5 dead kids and they're all accounted for, right?
Yeah, but the parts that were used to make the toys.
Yeah, but Kieran, but we know from the FNAF 2 drawings that Mangle predates that being a thing that was done.
Gift shop. Yeah,
Mangle is the oldest of the toy animatronics. They were there previously. I don't think it's a coincidence that amongst those FNAF 2 drawings, it's the FNAF 1 designs, the Springlock suit, and then Mangle.
There is like Mangle is confusing in general with FNAF 2's timeline because like, what do you mean they gave up on fixing Mangle within the first few weeks of operation? You don't really give up on a brand new robot that quickly and just leave it like that.
Between giving up on them within a few weeks, the Mangle being in FNAF 4 in 1983, the fact that Mangle appears on the drawings alongside animatronics, which I'm pretty sure we both agree have to have been from the FNAF 2 restaurant being open prior to 1985.
Yeah. I know there is literally a drawing of the kids tearing Mangle apart, but there is something up with Mangle being torn apart.
Yeah, but if Mangle's from pre-MCI, how did they get possessed? Because they can't have been possessed by the MCI, because 5 kids died, and those 5 kids are all accounted for.
It could be puppeting. I don't know though.
Let's just ignore for a second the fact that I don't believe the DCI happened, right?
Yeah.
If we pretend for a minute that the DCI is a thing that happened, cool. Same exact problem as the Shadow animatronics being caused by the DCI. Mangle's acting up before the DCI happened.
It's weird. Doing what?
Why is FNAF 4 a thing? Let's just ignore it. Guys. Let's just ignore it.
We
It's
can't.
more fun than not fun.
FNAF 4 is not one of the things that can be ignored, really.
Here's the thing. I think with what we are simplifying it quite a bit from what it used to be a mess. It used to be you have the MCI, and that gets neatly wrapped up within the first 3 games. right? You hear about
Sort
it in FNAF
of.
1, about these 5...
Molten
You hear
Freddy
about it in
throws a
FNAF
big
1.
fat wrench in that, but yeah.
Yeah, you hear about it in FNAF 1 with the kids being killed, you see the killer and find out more about him in FNAF 2, and you see what some people believe is DCI. I personally believe it's meant to be a representation of the MCI. Just sort of different retellings of it. Right, you see that in FNAF 2, and then FNAF 3 we get Happiest Day. That wraps up their story perfectly.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then, to complicate things more, some people, not me, believe in the DCI, and the DCI is a separate, unrelated event, which literally nothing comes up. The DCI and its victims are never relevant again.
What about Molten DCI?
They are missing from Happiest Day. There is very little evidence to support Molten DCI. Because there is very little evidence. And the reason there's very little evidence to support Molten DCI or any other DCI theory is that there is very little evidence that the DCI even happened.
I have evidence.
There is one minigame, and that's about it. There's one minigame where there's dead bodies.
If you look in the biscuit tin, you'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies.
Here's my...
Hey, you've heard of Andrew Pizza. You've heard about Andrew Pizza. What about Andrew Biscuit? Andrew was baked into a biscuit.
God damn it. Are we taking the minigames literally?
I don't think we should, because Foxy Go Go Go, with those, Foxy Go 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 isn't really showing us much beyond Purple Guy killed 5 kids. I don't think Foxy literally ran up to there and was like, oh my fucking god, because Foxy's a robot.
If we take the minigames literally, Foxy ran from the stage and saw William Afton stood over 5 bodies, which can't be the MCI because we know he lured them for that.
If the bodies would be anywhere,
DCI.
If the bodies would be anywhere altogether, they'd be in the safe room. The safe room, which Foxy cannot enter, physically incapable of going in that room.
We know Afton lured the kids to the safe room to kill them.
Yeah,
Which
and also,
also,
Springlock Cassidy. Where's the body for Cassidy? It's in the suit.
Yeah.
It can't be there because she's Springlock merged with the suit.
If we assume the minigames are a literal, exact representation of what happens, we now have a third set of dead kids completely unaccounted for anywhere else in the lore.
What if Rory is in Molten Freddy, and Molten Freddy's actually the experiment kids?
Really quick, have we seen the newest Commercial Chaos yet?
Nope. I don't watch Commercial Chaos on my own.
Yeah.
And I got that question. Took half an hour to get.
I'm sorry, it's a FNAF stream, we're talking about FNAF lore, it's a very complicated mess, and also it's really, really fun to talk about at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm glad I enjoy this.
If we take the minigames not literally, if we view them as a metaphor, if we view them as just being representative of something, then things get a lot more interesting. Because
which spring body do I want?
William Afton get witnessed committing this crime by Foxy?
I mean,
well, maybe.
No, most likely not. But maybe, but not in the way we see it.
Foxy has been out of order a long time.
Yeah.
Withered Foxy is obviously out of order in FNAF 2.
Now here's the
thing,
thing,
we know
though.
they've been out of order all of FNAF 1 from the week before. They have been out of order since pre-FNAF 2 opening. That sounds to me like they've been out of order since pre-MCI even.
What is, even if he does witness it, the fuck is Foxy gonna do about it?
Oh yeah. It makes sense to me that if Afton's luring them to a back room, with Foxy being out of order basically every point in the timeline we can see him, then it makes sense that Foxy might have seen him. What does Save Them tell us? If we look at it as being representative rather than literal, well, it tells us Afton was killing these kids, the puppet tried to stop them,
And
and
failed.
they couldn't.
Yeah.
Give gifts, give life. What does it tell us? Does it tell us the puppet stuffed them in the suit? No. I mean, we do kind
I
of
should
have
put
to
this
look.
closer. I should put it
We
closer to
do
the bathroom.
kind of like have to look at Fazbear Frights. Fazbear Frights for book series for this. But it's there's another example. I can't remember for the life of me which book it is. But there's another example. There's several examples in that of Scott using that book series to say no, puppet stuff is wrong,
I mean,
and that is because
Scott Cawthon seems to do that at every single opportunity he gets to show the kids getting stuffed.
He uses those books to tell us how ghosts work in FNAF. But just being stuffed into the suit's not enough. If you don't know where your body is, unless someone shows you, you are not going to be able to possess anything or move on. You are just going to be a wandering spirit. That is something we are told repeatedly by the books. And that makes sense of the puppet stuff bullshit. Because no, the puppet did not literally hide the evidence of Afton's crimes. That minigame is representative of how the puppet showed the dead kids where their bodies were.
Go piss, girl.
Helped them possess them.
Go piss. I'm keeping this. I don't give a fuck.
Whoa.
If we look at it, if we stop trying to force every single thing that ever appears in a FNAF game to be interpreted literally, FNAF lore is really simple.
Yeah. I'm convinced that, like, Foxy Go 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 is only showing us that 5 kids died at Freddy's. That's all it's saying. And, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I was gonna say the only thing you could garner from it is the Golden Freddy thing. That's in Give Gifts. So, yeah, I got messed up for a sec. That's in Give Gifts where Golden Freddy does the funny.
And here's my thing, right? If we're gonna decide, okay, the FNAF 2 minigames should be taken seriously, right? These are literal depictions of events. Why does no one ever apply that same logic to the other games?
One thing I could add is, like, fake audio lures. Just to make sure that, like... Because you can't see the audio lures in here, because I had to put them up there to get them to actually function, so I want to put audio lures around... Just so that, like, these look like the audio lures that would be used, but they're actually not.
It's like... If we take the FNAF 2 minigames literally, right? And we apply that logic elsewhere, are the FNAF 3 minigames literal? Does Mike actually go to Fazbear Frights and punch in a combination on the bricks in the walls like it's a keypad and use that to access a secret minigame that he has to glitch out of in order to free children's souls? Fuck no! That is batshit insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a clear metaphor.
Like, we definitely can't take those ones literally. What about, like, the next major appearance of minigames outside of, like, between Night minigames and FNAF 4? Which I think of the ones that maybe we can take more literally, right? Especially because Scott Cawthon's told us that everything in those is deliberate. Like, outright.
Yeah, Scott said that he didn't put, like, random Easter eggs in FNAF 4.
Yeah.
Which makes the phone guy call a little confusing.
I like to think that's telling us it's Mike.
Yeah.
Not Mike Victim, but that the events of the FNAF 4 nights we are playing as Mike.
Yeah, probably. Not Mike Victim. Mike Victim had a whole book proving it wrong.
But the main next instance of, like, those playable minigames that you get is sister location.
Oh.
And we know that one can't be literal. Because
No,
Baby did not parkour through a field full of random holes to hell and floating platforms to feed a load of kids before going back to kill Elizabeth. That's not how that happened.
God, that's funny. That's really
Yeah,
fucking
easy.
funny. No, I love the animations that I've seen for Stage 01, where, like, it's the actual animatronics and Fredbear is just straight up doing that. And, like, tweaking the fuck out. I love those animations.
And are we going to assume that even like the playable minigames from FNAF 6 at that point, are we going to assume they're literal? I mean, some of them are
Some of them.
arcade games, right?
Some of them are literal, because, like, there's not much that, like, is up to interpretation in Security Puppet. Security Puppet quite plainly shows us what happens.
Well, Security Puppet is literal, yes. I'm more talking like, are we taking Midnight Motorist? We don't even know what Midnight
No.
Motorist means.
No, he definitely wasn't he was drunk driving, sure. He was not doing whatever the fuck he's doing in Midnight Motorist.
Well, can we even? No, I'm not talking like. Obviously, he wasn't going like 200 miles per hour down the
Yeah.
freeway, right? Naturally. I'm more thinking, was he like? Was what we see in the secret part literal? I don't know. And even then, do these like hidden things exist in the actual physical arcade game in that location? Because it's entirely
Probably
possible
not.
that they could because of Remnant.
They could because of Remnant and, like, I don't know. Maybe the FNAF 2 minigames also, like, actually exist because Charlie's in both of those locations. Maybe that's just something she does.
And we know from the VR and from Security Breach that some arcade games like Princess Quest and the Balloon Boy one, the weird stuff in that is at least somewhat canon.
Oh yeah, Shadow Freddy. There's another Shadow Freddy appearance. And,
Oh.
like, this is pretty noteworthy. Shadow Freddy appears in the intro to FNAF 6 with the fake game, where he shows up when it starts glitching. And do you know who else is in FNAF 6?
William Afton.
Afton is in FNAF 6. So Shadow Freddy's there with him again. But notably, Shadow Freddy doesn't show up in AR because that's not William Afton. That's a fake it's fake Aftons, and that doesn't catch Shadow Freddy's interest. He only cares about the real Afton.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so he does just straight up follow this motherfucker everywhere.
And you know what would make that? Well, Shadow Bonnie seems to follow him at least as far as FNAF 3.
Yeah, but I think Shadow Bonnie has a different goal, because Shadow Bonnie seems to be pretty interested in protecting and helping the kids.
Both are interested in following Afton.
Yeah.
If we assume they are tied to the Springbok suits, it makes sense that Shadow Bonnie would want to follow Afton to an extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why would Shadow Freddy?
But Shadow Freddy just straight up takes part in Follow Me, and like in the minigame at least. So he's present there too.
Now hold on. Think back to the Man in Room 1280.
Ah yeah, when they pick up
Think
William's
back.
burned corpse from the remnants of the pizzeria.
Think back to the Hitchhiker and the Stitch Race Stingers.
It's William Afton.
Is Cassidy, because we know their physical body in the form of Golden Freddy has presumably been at least heavily damaged by William at that point.
Yeah,
Because their soul's outside of it running around.
either damaged or has been completely eviscerated.
So,
That's why a lot of people explain why
Does-
Golden Freddy changes appearances between games.
does William Afton, as of FNAF 3 and as of his Springbok failure,
Oh my game.
have a passenger aboard his body?
He
in the form of
might.
Cassidy?
He might.
Because Cassidy would be the... Because if the Golden Freddy suit's destroyed and we never see it, timeline-wise, we never see it after FNAF 1. Could the Golden Freddy suit have been destroyed? Cassidy latches onto William Afton, and that is why Shadow Freddy is stuck to William Afton now.
Maybe?
The only problem with that is then logically Shadow Freddy should be at the FNAF 1 location in FNAF 1, right?
Yeah, but Golden Freddy
Here
is
is
in
my
FNAF 1. And also...
Here is my explanation for that.
What's he doing in FNAF 2?
What's Golden Freddy doing in FNAF 2?
No, what's Shadow Freddy doing in FNAF 2?
Following Golden Freddy.
So Shadow Freddy isn't following William, he's following Cassidy.
I believe past a certain point he's following William. I believe post FNAF 1 he would be following William at that point.
Oh.
Because we never see Golden Freddy get destroyed with FNAF 3 minigames, do we?
Oh Christ, my game. Yeah, it just cuts right to the child.
But we do see that that child has been freed from their body already.
Yeah.
So Golden Freddy's already been destroyed.
What is going on? Is there some sort of background task running here? Let me see. Looks like it's just system. Well. I'll kick CurseForge out. See if that helps.
They are in the FNAF 2 location because Golden Freddy's there. Shadow Bonnie's in the FNAF 2 location because who the fuck knows where Spring Bonnie suits are at that point?
FNAF 1. It's still in the FNAF 1 backroom. Why wouldn't it be?
Here's the thing. We know at the MCI location there is both. There is the Golden Freddy suit and there's a Spring Bonnie suit, right? There has to be the Spring Bonnie suit because that's what Afton wore. There has to be the Golden Freddy suit because that's what Cassidy was put in, right?
Yeah.
But we know at the same time there also had to have at least been the Golden Freddy suit at the FNAF 2 location as well. Because it was in use.
Yeah.
They have multiple Springlock suits for each character then.
Well, I believe that anyways, because I believe that William is very protective of his specific Spring Bonnie suit. Like, the original Spring Bonnie suit. That's his.
Yeah. I mean, even if we look at it, like, if they have, like, there has to be at least 2 Golden Freddy suits, it follows logically that there has to be at least, there's potentially other Spring Bonnie suits. And with us knowing that both are at the MCI location, and that if there was a different location that had multiple Springlock failures, meaning at least 2 suits, it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I think
here?
somewhere in the FNAF 2 location is another covered up safe room with potentially a Spring Bonnie, potentially both suits inside.
Where on the map could that be? Because we've also got a kitchen that's not on the map that we have to assume exists because it's a fucking pizzeria.
There are a lot of rooms on every Freddy's map we have to assume exists. There is no entrance to like any Freddy's location.
No, there's not.
There is no kitchen in FNAF 2.
Oh, well, that did it.
Not one single location has an office for the managers.
Nope.
FNAF 1 has no arcade. Except we kind of know it has to have an arcade.
Oh, I didn't put any cameras by the exit area. Oh well.
There are so many problems with open maps. I am sure there is somewhere in FNAF 2. I mean, well, FNAF 2 has to have a safe room anyway, because we know a Golden Freddy suit was used there previously.
Yeah. Golden Freddy, I doubt, is just in part and service.
Oh yeah. Well,
Even though there's parts of it we
Maybe.
don't see. Safe room could be, like, attached to part and service.
Maybe the Cassidy suit is, but the one that was originally at that location isn't.
Hmm. It is interesting that Cassidy and Bite Victim possess the same Fredbear suit then, because that means that Cassidy possesses the same one that bit Crying Child those years ago. Did William do that on purpose?
I doubt it, but it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, he knows that, he'd probably know that that's the same Fredbear that bit his son.
Well, not even that way. Fredbear's shuts down, right? In
Yeah.
1983. All their assets, including those 2 original suits, go to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which opens
Hey,
in
Pepper.
1983, the MCI location. So that location is going to get a lot of the Fredbear's assets.
Yeah. Including
You
Fredbear
then
himself.
open a different location, which would be the FNAF 2 location opening for the first time. You're gonna need a second set of Springlock suits. So the first suit, one that Bite Victim died to, is going to be at the first location.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get a new suit with no soul attached at the second location. Sean's left, by the way. I don't know where they've gone.
Yeah, they left a while back.
Yeah. They must have got tired of us talking about FNAF lore.
Yeah, I assume as much too.
It's a FNAF stream. It's kind of expected of us at this point.
Yeah.
Do the cloned tablets keep the same camera layout?
They do.
What on earth does your exterior look like?
I showed it a few times. I'll go back out in a second. Kind of screwing around on the cams. Because that's pretty much this location built and complete, I think. I mean, I could add some more stuff in this hallway. This looks really plain, honestly. There we go.
I like your take on it actually just being like a horror museum sort of thing.
I added a bunch of, like, foliage around it. Just because. I talked about it last stream where I was like, do you think they would...
Shop?
Yeah, there's a gift shop. After you go through the attraction, I put a gift shop there. Specifically afterwards, so that you're more incentivized to buy shit.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is the exterior I've got. I was talking last stream about them intentionally, like, letting like, a bunch of grass fuck up their building just to make it look cooler. And, like, the logistics behind that.
Well, it would probably... Well, you'd probably have to use fake. I have been doing a lot of weeding lately for work, and it is a pain. You wouldn't want to let actual weeds grow on your building just for the aesthetic.
Yeah, probably not, but maybe Fazbear Entertainment did.
You'd probably
Hey, Puppet.
want
Hey,
to
Charlie.
do something... That door should be back. That door should be the other way around.
Hey?
God damn it.
What?
That front door for the entrance should be the other way around.
I know it should. My logic behind that is that for the most part you're going to be looking in from the entrance.
It is a very nice place.
Alright, I'll swap it. There we go.
I don't... Okay, hold on.
Nice
Let's get a better look
place.
at that door. I don't know if that door even should be an entrance door, because that is like a fire exit style door with a push bar.
It is. It's called a big exit door, but... Fazbear Fright.
I have been learning a lot about like fire code shit.
Sparky, that dog is here. We love
Nice.
Sparky. Sparky is the secret 6th victim that they keep hinting about. It's not Andrew, it's Sparky.
I'm gonna run because I really should shower because I'm gonna be at work a lot tomorrow and I've been sweating a lot today from like moving tables and shit.
Alright.
But
Wait.
I might be back after that.
Wait, Andrew possesses Fetch in the books. He possesses a dog in the books. Wait.
You know, maybe Andrew's in Mangle and that's why change.
Maybe.
What do you think of that, Andrew and Mangle? Yes.
Angle.
They even kind of rhyme.
Call it Angle.
Andal, Mangrove, they kind of rhyme.
Yeah. Mangrove.
I
Perfect.
cannot believe you agreed with me that they kind of rhyme.
Perfect.
You're fired, you're dead. Kill you. Mods, kill this woman with hammers.
Of course. Alright, Bob. What can I even put at the end here? I need like a bunch of filler stuff. Papers, posters. Papers, posters. Ceiling crap. I should put some ceiling stuff around. I've already got that poster there. Damn it. Pizza? Wall pizza? Pizza? Maybe. Dum 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 dum. Bonnie. I put a Bonnie poster there, sure. As for this, like, floor area, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Trash, probably. Cans. I could put some I could put some trash around, because people are just like that. Some trash. I would check the flooring as well, see if there's any, like, stuff I could do of ruined tiles. There they are, ruined tiles. In the actual place. Yeah, a lot of this is clean and Fright. I could do some ruined. That's awkward, don't do that. In fact, this place is going for more of like a cleaner flooring at least. So let's go place some of these tiles with like the proper ones. That's like overkill. I don't like that one a lot. Mangle's quest. Whoa, oh, Jesus. Need like a clip dump of every single time one of these guys scares me, even though I put them there. Shadow Bonnie's just a startling motherfucker. I do believe Shadow Bonnie is a good force and Shadow Freddy is more of an ambiguous one. I got no clue what Shadow Freddy is up to. Whether he's using Afton to feed himself off of his agony. Or whether he's just straight up Afton struck a deal with a demon. Who knows? Withered Bonnie's face would be a funny thing to have on one of these, but oh well. We've already got this guy here. And he's funky looking. I love how blue Movie Bonnie is. I love how blue he is. It really goes to show, huh? I've got a Withered Bonnie, like, figure that Funko made, and that one is really blue. He's incredibly blue. Just goes to show, huh? Alright, where can I put some hanging things like wall stars and such? Ooh, a happy party let's banner. What if I put happy birthday here? Happy birthday. Yeah, maybe. Happy birthday! To refer to the bite of 83. I like the idea of a room that's like full of hanging stars that you like gotta wade through because they hang really low. In fact, maybe like this doorway here could have like them going really low. These ones are straight up at the floor, yeah. Like you over here, hanging stars. I like that. I've got an excuse to like go overboard with hanging stars here. To like to the point where it's obstructive, because that's the point. It wants to be obstructive to scare you. We don't want to obstruct Foxy though. We want to make sure people see Foxy. We can obscure this guy a little though. Ah, this adds a lot. This adds a lot. I like this. I almost forgot to do it again. You can only do it once you put the ceiling in, so it's easy to forget about putting hanging stars about. I'd rather put wires in there. Yeah, they're just all over the place, these stars. They even hide Springtrap if you try to look for him on the cams. That's a pretty cool thing. Don't know about having him here. Probably not. Having them droop down in the puppet's hallway the most feels like the most fitting place for it. Kinda adds to like the whole thing where Shadow Puppet is like resemblant of a weeping tree. So you got all these hanging stars, like leaves. It's symbolic. Yeah, there's so many, and you gotta wade through. Of course, there's this guy. What if I put him behind some stars? Get entangled. Yeah, that could be a problem for the technicians. I don't think Fazbear cares. What are some of these flyers that we could do? In like the back room. Like here, we can have hanging wire. Behave. Put the alternate one. Yeah. Just completely overload this place with wire. There's so many. Nice. And here too you can have some. Not as many. There's still a few wires coming from the actual ceiling. Glass out here. We should put a garbage thing here. Give me green stuff. Like, probably terracotta. Trader llama. I still don't get why trader llamas are, like, counted as different entities entirely to just llamas. Yeah, dumpster. Charlie here. Or at least a reference to the Charlie incident. God, Marasa is kind of shredding the guitar right now, not gonna lie. Just a few presents. We could have some prop presents around here too. Just to fill space, really. Candy. Enough candy there. Oh, there's 3 variants. Cool. I thought there was only 2. I kinda wanna have a door frame there. Door. Frame. That kinda works. It's 8 PM, so Springtrap won't be moving. He's just there. I see the Phantom statues. I don't think they would have statues of the Phantoms. I'm just putting these guys here cause. Because obviously the Phantoms aren't, like, actual things, they're hallucination guys. Ready. It's there. It's like, this is more representative of the fact, like, the Phantoms are completely invisible most of the time. So I'm just gonna see what they look like when they are visible, where they would actually be. Of course, Phantom Foxy usually shows up right here, in your office. It's only recently I learned that there actually is a way to counter Phantom Foxy. I thought he was unavoidable for some reason. No, all you gotta do is just not look at him when he's there. So just be careful when turning around. I don't know why, I thought he was unavoidable. Because, like, every time I've seen him show up for somebody, he gets them. It's Chica. Kinda wanna stay straight forward. I wish there was a way to have, like, an arcade with Phantom Chica on it. In this. Phantom BB can be literally anywhere. I feel like I could have put him on the other side of Foxy like this. Phantom Mangle, I know, has her own hallway. I think it's actually where the Foxy head is. So maybe Phantom Mangle goes in here, BB elsewhere. Probably. I guess Phantom Mangle's huge. Don't know how I feel about having her there. Here's Phantom Bonnie. Just, you know. This guy, he doesn't exist, but it's fun to have him here. Now why is there no Phantom Bonnie? The real reason is because of Springtrap. I'm pretty sure it is just because Springtrap's in the same game. Hello. Yeah, when do the phantoms become visible at night? Because for the most part they're not. But you can see their particles to show that they are here. Sometimes they become visible. I'm pretty sure they do it on their own. I don't know though. There's Charlie going around. Let's go kill all the guys we put down now. Alright, let's see if Bonnie has shown himself yet. Hi, RW. There's Charlie, again. Yeah, Bonnie's visible now. He's just screwing around with Nightmare Bonnie. Springtrap's doing his thing too.
Where did everybody go?
Hello. Kieran left to shower. Where did you go?
To watch the newest Ginger Jax film video where the creator he was doing with the bingo was actually fucking joined in the bingo.
Oh.
It genuinely seagulled.
Oh.
Speaking of me leaving the shower, hello.
Hello. Oh, I didn't know you were lurking still.
Well, I was lurking when I got back to my desk, which was just now.
Ah.
I was quite fast because I wanted to get back to the stream.
always promote live streams over your personal hygiene.
Hey, I'm clean as shit now. Well, shit's not very clean, but...
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I am very clean. I probably smell the best I've smelled this whole week.
I thought you were going to say I probably smell better than you do. And I was like, okay, pal.
I mean, that too.
Okay, pal.
Personal hygiene is important. I've not showered last night, which I probably should have.
Yeah, we got phantoms all over this place.
But I'm making extra care to make sure I smell good tomorrow because people are going to be getting close and yelling at me and annoyed. And I'm going to tell them to fuck right off and to take it up with people higher up than me. Because no, I cannot let you keep the fire door open all day. That is a hazard.
Oh god. That's like the kind of people you get?
Well, it's the kind of people I'm getting tomorrow at least.
Why would it be a hazard, guys? I thought it was safe to have fire doors open, guys, so you can leave, guys.
By the way, you should come down and see me tomorrow.
I don't
'Cause you'll be
really
able
feel
to.
like it.
Fair enough. I get that. To be fair, I don't really feel like going down tomorrow, but I've got to.
Plus, I have work myself to do. Game stuff.
Can you DM
You
me
can
what's going on tomorrow?
afford. What?
Can you DM me what's going on tomorrow?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've put it in the text chat previously.
Now that this place is completely built,
Apparently I've not.
because of like Shadow Freddy, I can't really, and the fact that Springtrap realistically is not making it to the office with the Minecraft AI, I'm not gonna do a survive the night in the office. I'm gonna do a survive the night with everybody's favorite type of FNAF fan game, free roam, where you run around the pizzeria and nothing happens. Alright, it's now midnight, I'm in danger. Because it's not just Springtrap I've got to worry about. Charlie is in the building too, and the shadows are in the building. And of course, the phantoms can kill me if I get got by them too many times. But let's see Springtrap. He's just chilling. I've got vents I can utilize though, and I'm pretty sure out of these guys, Springtrap's the only one that can follow me through them. Let's take a look. I'm pretty safe in the museum, all things considered. Nobody is here. I'm just gonna check, make sure the front door's not open. Door's not open. I can go for the vents. Actually,
This is.
I need to turn these off.
genuinely
There we go.
Teen Titans Go, Undertale joke.
What?
I'm Wingas. When the back-to-back stands for Pirates win thing.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that, yeah. That is genuinely insane to me. It genuinely seagulls. Hi, Bonnie. I'm just gonna run in case Springtrap's still there. I don't think he is, but Bonnie has seen me.
We live in an age where nothing can be genuine without also being seagulls.
This is like the most dangerous place I can be right now.
And then I can say what I want and you can't get mad at me because it's not genuine.
Where's Springtrap gone? Genuine question?
No. No, it is not.
Ow. Okay. So, ow! Don't hit the Z button when you're in the vent. Oh shit, oh shit. It's
Don't hit the
BB.
Z
Oh
button.
wait, he can't get me.
Don't hit the Z button, hit Carl instead.
These guys can't get me either, right?
Why have I been bringing up Ant Venom stupid fucking cow bias all the time now? I haven't even seen an Ant Venom clip.
What is that
Yeah.
stupid cow bias?
Don't kill pigs, kill cows instead.
Yeah, he made a video about don't kill Minecraft pigs, kill Minecraft cows.
Several.
And I actually do that all the time. If you've ever noticed when we're playing Minecraft together, I only ever kill cows. Oh shit. Oh shit.
That's
Oh shit.
quite mean.
Wait, why is he not coming in?
What's I fucking looking for on here?
There's literally a vent trigger right here.
Oh yeah.
My guy. My guy's tweaking.
Do you think Steve died all the stupid
Hold on.
pink, or he killed every bloodline that wasn't him?
I'm pretty sure sheep bear
Yeah.
are just naturally pink.
He can't come in here. Is it because of the vents? Can the ruined vents actually not be used? It says they can, so I thought they could, but maybe they can't.
If they can, it might be worth doing further testing in a different world
Huh?
to see in like
Oh, fuck!
what you call it.
Okay, it's okay, watch this. Get juked, motherfucker! What? Oh, that was just him again. Right, now I'm safe in the office, I'm just gonna turn it back to creative. I need to test this. I need to test this. Is my world fucked up, or is it rotten vents that are messed up? It's probably the vents. I'm just gonna guess the vents don't actually work. Because I know they didn't used to work, at least. But then they claim that they do now, but they still might not. Replace. Management wanted. Vent. Vent stained. Vent.
Do you think?
Oh no.
Therefore, you are.
Okay. We've replaced the vents.
I think it's fucking travesty that there isn't more Philomena Punk in this world. The universe controlling Sonic the Hedgehog through my body. The universe is playing Sonic through your body.
I can't believe that they actually answered with that.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, because it does such thing as free will. The universe has a Sonic one.
Alright. Now we should be able to play Five Nights at Freddy in Minecraft. With the vents functioning so that I can't just camp.
Yes, Cam.
Camps at midnight. Oh shoot, Shadow fucking Freddy's here, I forgot. I thought it was just Phantom Foxy. Alright, I'm straight in the vents.
I should have checked what was in the Digital Deluxe Edition before I spent £1.70 on the upgrade for it.
BB,
But that's
Chica.
fine.
Why?
Lovely art book, very nice. Well, because I had no clue what it was until I decided I should check the Steam store page for that thing I bought actually.
Freddy's coming after me. Where's this go? This goes into the museum. Okay.
I've been.
Time to
How
check
many
if
games do you
Springtrap's
think should
still
be removed
here.
from Steam?
Ah! Let me run! God damn it! Bonnie's here! Bonnie! Oh.
A predator.
Don't you turn that corner. I'm not here.
The corner in question. And it just like.
Finger
Okay,
fixes
true.
faucet.
Water.
He's gone again.
Which is dribble away water.
Springtrap's missing again.
Gotta go, pizza's here.
I'm not having sips with you right now, water. Okay. Have your pizza.
Who's that? It's not Springtrap.
No.
It's Charlie. There's Springtrap.
Do you have
Wait, he still can't get in.
flower tops?
Is it because of this?
What if for my birthday I just made everyone watch all of Fifi and the Flower Tops?
This thing takes a while to break, huh? I think it might be this, though. I can go through it, but I don't think he actually can.
I can go through it.
Huh? Come on, Springtrap. Come in. Get in here!
With pentagons would like run away from anyone.
He can't. He can't get in. Why the fuck can he not get in here? Management wanted. I think you fucked up the mod a little. He's still coming. He's fast.
Who the fuck are you? No. Two. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Why?
Why can't he get in? These vents make no sense.
I know, right? It's ridiculous. I wonder if anyone has reported issues regarding the ruined vents, actually.
I mean, I've swapped them out now and it's still not working.
Oh, is it updated?
So the vents in general are just kind of buggered.
Is there a problem with your vent entrance thing?
Weird. No. I've tried destroying one of the, like, the things in front of it. That didn't even work.
Is the mod update?
This fucked up. Yeah, there was an update recently. I don't know if that's broken it, because I haven't seen anything about it.
Is it a security breach mod?
It's not a security breach. What?
Not yet. It was just a minor patch.
Oh, well, it didn't really do its job, did it? Nah, it probably patched the right thing and then it's...
Okay, well, forget about that. Let's just set as creative. Alright, I'm gonna test if a toy animatronic can use events. If I just set some vents here. For a good old toy. I'm doing live bug tests now.
They should hire you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Let's put
Yeah,
a good
come on.
chum toy bunny here.
Chum. I've got a toy bunny, I put it in my chum.
Hi, toy bunny.
Me and my chum have all kinds of...
Time set mid. Now. Toy bunny. What will you do when you touch that vent trigger? He went in! What? Okay, Bonnie. Bonnie works. Toy Bonnie works. Springtrap. It's just Springtrap. Springtrap don't work. He can't go in vent triggers. Why? Why can't he do? Why? Dark Springtrap, can you? He can! It's just Springtrap! What? Okay, hold on. What? Imagine what the fuck happened to Springtrap? Is there a lore reason for this? Okay, Dark Springtrap it is then. Even though he lies down on the floor during the day, which I don't like much. Go back to bed, except you. Yeah, he's just gonna be dead like that. Okay. Now where's realistically a safe place for me to plant myself to begin the night? Neither office, because the office is too safe. This place doesn't have any immediate danger. One more time. Time's at midnight. So I guess a rotten fence would work. Who's just in me? Oh, frick. Mangle! Get me in here! You can't do nothing, Mangle. Ugh. hindsight, very scary place to put myself. Where's Springtrap? Oh fuck, he's still there. I'm just gonna sneak past him. He'll never know he knows. No, he doesn't. He's none the wiser to my antics. Can't see me. He saw me. Get me out of here. Can you still see me? Can't. Who would see me can't. Now he can. Can he? Why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? What happened here? Springtrap? He's just stuck there. Wow. Oh, he started moving. I guess his pathfinding broke. Did he do it again? Oh no. I'm safe. But there he is. It's 3 AM right now. Oh shoot. Frick. Yeah, how about I don't go over there? Is it safe here? Nah. He's totally guarding that other vent, though. There's no way I can get past him here. Oh, there's a vent here. Oh, he's stuck. Again. Nope. He's still here? He is. Oh, he is. Oh, he is. Oh, shoot! He got in that vent fast. But, yeah, he can, in fact, use the vents. Alright. Oh, look. My latest death. So where's he got to in that vent? Oh. He's still there. Oh, frick. Oh, wait, he can't get out that way. Give me my stuff back. Yeah, the vents are one way, so he's not actually able to get out. So he's just gonna keep going that way, probably, until he gets... No, he's just gonna stay there. Not gonna work. Well, I thought I set keep inventory to true. I think I set it to false. Oh, hi. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get out this way.
I set keep inventory to wrong.
Wait, I think it's daytime. Yeah. It's daytime and he's trying to get past me to get back to where he belongs, but he can't. Dude, buddy. I'm gonna need you to move. I'm gonna humbly request that you fucking move your fat ass. Oh my god. Nah, I'm going in now. There we go. Yeah, he's gonna start going back again to try and get through, but he can't. Even flying, I can't get fucking past him. I can't see anything. Well, he may be stuck there forever. Because I don't know if he knows how to teleport when he's in the vent. I've had that issue before in Ultimate Custom Night. But I've pretty much completed this location. Wow, look at this. Look at Queso. Wow. Alright. Well, let me take a look at things. See what else we could do.
Queso.
Oh, here's the thing. Withered Bonnie's Ultimate Custom Night thing. What do you think? What do you think that means? Because, like, I feel like it's gotta mean something. But it might not mean anything at all. Let's give him his mask. That was fucking loud. Wish. There you go, Jeremy. You can be happy now. Yeah, like in Ultimate Custom Night, Withered Bonnie, he says, "What is this new prison? Is it me trapped or is it you? Perhaps it's us both." Now, why would he be talking about being trapped? Why would Withered Bonnie consider himself trapped in a prison if he's just like a Kelsey is a projection. If he's just a projection made by Cassidy for the sole purpose of tormenting William. Like, is it projection Bonnie? Like, gaining sentience and being like, is it me trapped or is it you? Or is Jeremy the kid for some reason in Ultimate Custom Night? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. I honestly don't know what to make of it because I believe that Cassidy... I believe it goes against... It's a mark against Cassidy as a character for her to trap the other spirits with her in Ultimate Custom Night. I don't think that is something that she would do, considering that she plays a part in freeing the crying child's soul in Happiest Day. I highly fucking doubt she then turns around and goes, "No, none of you get to move on. You are staying with me in hell forever." Like, that's not... That's what people think Ultimate Custom Night is, and that's why people think Cassidy is not the vengeful spirit. And it's Andrew, because Andrew is actually a piece of shit that would do that. It gives me... That line gives me strife as a Cassidy one you should not have killed believer, because she's just objectively doesn't track the spirits with her in UCN. And yeah, Bonnie is coming in saying, like, is it me trapped or is it you? And it's like the only line that he says that isn't a face pun. So, like, he suddenly gains sentience and stops being, like, He quits his bit and, like, suddenly becomes sentient. To be like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean by this, Bonnie? What could this mean?
I get that. It's
What do you think it means?
Sometimes I don't think these things mean anything.
This is the same game where Mr. Hippo said that, but I don't know, it's a weird line for Withered Bonnie of all characters to say, when his whole thing in UCN is just the face puns, and, like, suddenly he comes out with this, and there's not even a pun attached to it. Like, he's just now sentient. And I'm like, okay.
Like, him coming out with the, what is this new prison? Is it me, Trapped, or is it you? Perhaps it's just both. Kinda implies to me that the other spirits are there.
Yeah.
Which means, like I said before, Happiest Day can't be canon then, right?
But, like, the spirits can't be there, because they just can't be. There's no reason for them to be there.
Unless Cassidy dragged them down with them to torture Afton.
I don't fucking think she did. None of the other MCI animatronics have that level of sentience that Bonnie has. It's just Withered Bonnie. Freddy doesn't say anything. Anything that Withered Chica says, like, is not as, like, aware. Except for the one line which, I'll be honest, I was the first I have seen everything. I don't think that's Susie. I don't think Susie is saying that. I don't think it means anything at all. I think that's Chica talking, not Susie.
Yeah.
That line has torn people apart with, like, the MCI order for years, and I think it was a red herring. I'm pretty fucking sure it's just Chica talking.
I don't think the actual order the MCI kids are killed in is relevant in the slightest.
No, it's only relevant when you bring Charlie into it.
Either you think Charlie was killed before or after the MCI. I don't see her being killed at the same time as them. At all.
Yeah.
She is either the first, because she's already possessed Puppet and she needs to be there to show them how to possess things.
A wound first inflicted on me. A wound first inflicted on me, but one that I let bleed out and cause all of this.
Okay, but...
No!
Is that even accurate? Is that even accurate? Because it is possible that someone else died first and Henry doesn't know.
I think Bite Victim died first. I think BV was first, but Henry doesn't want to credit William as having the wound first inflicted on him.
What about Elizabeth?
I
She's
think...
even there in the room, like in the building as he is talking. He's addressing her at the very start of his monologue.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. That is if you can still remember that name. I think William started up his murder kick before Elizabeth died, but I don't know.
Well,
Elizabeth's death is confusing.
She died to the fun times, so he has to have started the whole child murder thing by then.
Yeah, I don't think the fun times were, like, in, like, major production before like, Bite Victim got killed.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
I'm fairly certain.
There's only two ways Charlie's death can really go.
Yeah.
Either she dies before the MCI victims and is there possessing the puppet in order to put them all in the bodies when all 5 of them are dead. Or she dies after them, but because of the circumstances of her death, she's able to possess first, and then when she's moved to the 87 location, she can use that to show the others where their bodies is.
I think...
And let them take over their body.
I think, because otherwise what is the relevance of it at all? That, like, the in-between night minigames in FNAF 2, where you are Freddy, is showing Give Gifts, Give Life happening. It's showing the puppet giving life to the animatronics for the first time, and therefore FNAF 1 is the same location as 85. And Unwitheds are not canon. Sorry. I'm very sorry, Unwithered enjoyers. I just don't think they're canon at this point. I'm not the one that made that the case. Don't shoot the messenger.
I don't like saying Unwithered aren't canon, because yes, they are not canonically like it is the same design as the FNAF 1 ones.
Yeah.
But I don't like saying Unwithered aren't canon as the way of wording it, because there was something there before for Withered animatronics. It's just that was the FNAF 1 animatronics.
Yeah.
The FNAF 1 animatronics are the Unwithered animatronics. They are the same thing.
Yeah.
Unwithered is canon, it's just that none of the fan designs are, which should be kind of obvious. They were fan designs.
Yeah, but those fan Unwithered designs, like, I don't think were actually ever a thing, from what we know now.
I saw a really cool Glamrock Baby design, right?
Ooh, Glamrock
And
Baby.
the reason I'm bringing it up is because to me, it's kind of like saying Glamrock Baby's not canon. Because
Yeah.
of course they're not, it's a fan design. Like, there's evidence that Baby was our circus babies, the same way there's evidence for Withered animatronics, or was at the Petaplex at some point. The same way there's evidence that the Withered animatronics came from something beforehand.
Yeah.
But the fan designs are just that. They are fan designs. They aren't canon. They never will be.
No. I think that's pretty much right. As unfortunate it is for those people, I never really liked the Unwithereds anyways. In particular, Chica has never, like, had a good Unwithered design, in my opinion, that actually looked appealing. Because fixing Withered Chica's jaw is a difficult thing to do properly and while making it look good.
FNAF 1 Freddy versus Unwithered Freddy.
Right, let's see these.
Right.
This Withered Chica, good looking.
What
This Chica, no, not good looking. You didn't.
is-
The jaw isn't even attempted to be fixed here, and I highly fucking doubt that the jaw just looks like that on the animatronic. No hate, of course, no hate. This is just like criticism of Unwithered Chica in general. Like, the model for Retro Chica is good.
What about this one I'm sending you?
Eh? If you send something that's, like, distinctly not Unwithered Chica, I swear to God. Like, if you sent me the Hunter... Hold up.
So the main difference between Unwithered Freddy.
What the fuck? What is this Return to Freddy's looking at?
The main difference between Unwithered Freddy and FNAF 1 Freddy is the buttons, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say some. I am gonna say something fucking stupid, actually.
They've just used the office render of the cupcake. Oh my god. I need to show this.
I am going to say the Unwithered is like the buttons are the main difference, right? I am going to say something which sounds absolutely fucking stupid, but I want you to bear with me. I think the Unwithered designs, at least, you know, them having had the buttons previously, are canon.
They might be.
Because in the FNAF 3...
The bottom one doesn't look bad until you look at that.
In the FNAF 3 minigames,
They have
Freddy
buttons.
Fazbear has buttons.
Doesn't Bonnie the Bunny have a button in the minigames, or does he not?
I think they might do.
Yeah, I think the third one's fine, by the way. Like, that's probably one of the best ways to do the Unwithered head.
Yeah.
So,
But, like, then you look at the arms. The arms
Yeah.
is what fucks up the third one, and the cupcake again.
the FNAF 3 minigame is set after FNAF 1, right?
Yes, quite distinctly, because how the fuck can it not be?
So they have the buttons in FNAF 2, they lose them for FNAF 1, they have them again in the FNAF 3 minigame.
Right, chat, look at this.
Is it the FNAF 1 design that's not canon?
I don't know. Fredbear in UCN, I think he also has buttons.
What's your favourite PSA you actually saw, like, in school or on telly or something?
I don't know, because a lot of the ones that they showed me in school I didn't like because I was a wussy kid and like, dude started bleeding and I was like, ah!
I saw your Willy. Like, your Willy
Okay.
is rubbish. Is still such a fucking.
See, here's the
Insane.
thing though. I didn't see I Saw Your Willy. I've only
What?
heard that you saw it. I myself was not shown it. I was not shown
Wow.
that PSA. I don't know why,
I
I just
saw it,
wasn't shown
like,
it.
I
I
saw
think
it
I'm the
every
only one that
day.
hasn't seen it.
I saw it every time I changed key stage.
I mean, I have seen it. Obviously, I've seen it, but I wasn't shown it at
Unconscious
school.
people don't want tea.
Okay, I've seen that
Remember
one,
that?
like,
Yeah.
every single time. Like, every single time I went up a year, for, like, a good few years, I saw that.
I don't like that PSA for one simple reason. If I get drunk, I can choose to drink a cup of tea.
If I get
If
drunk, you get drunk.
If someone offers me a cup of tea and I am drunk, I can consent to drinking that tea while drunk. I cannot consent unless it's a situation where I am so smashed I cannot hold the cup of tea without spilling it all over myself. I can consent to drink tea, but I cannot consent to sex.
Alright, hold on. I've got a really fucking stupid idea.
That one with a chica, by the way.
The one with the chica. Oh man. Did you just Google "un with a chica" and that thing revealed itself to you? I've never thought to Google "un with a chica" before. Because, well, because I wouldn't willingly expose myself to it. I really, really, really don't like "un with a chica." I don't think "un with a chica" was ever a thing that existed. Just,
Okay.
well, I'm kind of glad that "un with a chica" at least wasn't a thing that existed.
I've
I was
got
never a
an
fan of, like,
un-
any of them, but...
I've got an un with a chica design here. Where they made them brown.
What? Why?
Brown chica. I don't know.
Huh.
Seriously. The bib looks to still be damaged.
I don't understand why you would change the color entirely. I don't think they did. I don't think they made her yellow when they withered her. Oh, when Glamrock Chica gets added to Management 1, she better have a yellow skin.
Oh yeah.
Because of the books because of Tales where the graphic novel wants to pretend that they didn't say Glamrock Chica was yellow, but they totally fucking did.
Now hold on. Have you ever looked close at the in-game model for Glamrock Chica?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay. So Tales from the Fazbear described you as yellow.
Yeah.
There is an inconsistency there, but it's not with the Tales from the Fazbear books describing the wrong colour. It's with the graphic novel deciding to change it to be white. Because if you look real close at her model, you can see that it's more noticeable on like the hands. You can see in the sockets for the fingers, it is yellow on the inside. So it is yellow plastic that has been painted over.
Was that always supposed to be the case?
I don't know, but you can see yellow on, like, you can't see it in normal gameplay. But if you look really fucking close at the model's hands, you can see it.
Huh, that's strange. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Oh yeah, Nightmare Nightmare in UCN also says things that hint towards him and Shadow Freddy being, like, adjacent just because he's like, I am your wickedness made of flesh. And that's, like, that's one of the theories for what Shadow Fred him is.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe Shadow Freddy is, like, in the Nightmare experiments and he fucks with Nightmare Fredbear to like... And he's like, oh, this is fun, let me in. I don't know. So you're maybe asking yourself why I'm building a Bomberman stage. I don't know.
So,
I've lost control of my life.
what I'm annoyed is that for whatever reason, there is that yellow on her model hidden away for Glamrock Chica.
Yeah.
But when you look at the shattered versions, they didn't have the paint chip away to reveal yellow underneath.
Yeah, also there aren't, like, anything, like, the notes that they could have done in-game to, like, say anything that hinting towards Chica being a different colour at one point.
So you are building a Bomberman level.
Yep.
What is going to populate this?
Not Bomberman.
Because
It
you're
is,
putting barriers in.
My idea is completely fucking stupid. I'm gonna throw animatronics in here, and I'm gonna throw a warden in here, and I'm gonna see how long it takes the warden to run around the maze and kill everyone.
Damn. Okay, I do kind of like that idea, I suppose. Who are you going to put in? I know who you should put in.
Hmm?
You should put in my favourite Toy Chica now.
I'm just putting the Wizards in. Oh.
Funtime Chica.
Withered Freddy fucking died. Withered Freddy can't fit because he sits down, so I'm just gonna set it tonight. That way he won't die. Get away. Well, Withered Freddy's gonna start with one less hit point, but that's okay. Now. Warden versus all these guys begin. I think Bonnie's fucked.
I hate that there's so much delay on here because I'm hearing the music that you're making, but I'm not seeing the warden play the game and kill the monsters. Okay, now I can see it.
Ding ding ding.
Oh, Withered Bonnie is probably fucked.
ding 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 ding.
He got body blocked by Withered
I think
Freddy.
Chica's getting screwed over now. Yeah, Chica's dead.
Freddy's fucked next. Okay,
Oh wait,
Freddy's dead.
Foxy just triggered Warden. Is that gonna get Chica killed? Yes, it is. Foxy. Well, there he goes. Bye, Foxy. Oh well. Everybody's dead. I wonder if they attack Phone Guy.
How many Withered Foxes would it take to kill the Ender Dragon?
I don't know. I don't have a mod that would let them fight the Ender Dragon. I'm gonna watch two Phone Guys go up against the Warden now. Oh god. This is what happens on night 4. Hello? Hello, hello?
I did see a really good argument against Stream Theory being canon that I thought was quite interesting.
Okay, so the animatronics don't go after Phone Guy.
Do you
That's a bit of a shame.
remember the April Fool's post for UCN? With the fake mechanics that were references to stupid
Yes,
theories.
yes.
And there was one that was referencing Phone Guy being Purple Guy, which is obviously stupid and was never canon.
Yeah, there was one referencing Dream Theory as well, I remember.
And there was one referencing Foxy being a good guy, which was obviously stupid and never canon.
Yeah.
And then there's one watching Dream Theory, which is obviously referencing Dream Theory, which is obviously stupid and was never canon.
Yeah.
I think Scott putting that in the same category as those other theories is him trying to tell us something about Dream Theory. I wonder what it could be.
Alright, let's see if the 4 FNAF 6 animatronics stand more of a chance. Who is the better out of FNAF 6? Molten Freddy is spawning right by him. Freddy, you're not supposed to be up there. Get down. Freddy, no. I wish I had a mod that could make the animatronics fight. God, I need to look into that. Because this is stupid as fuck and I love it. Afton got a few hits on him. No, Lefty! Lefty!
I remember putting an Iron Golem up against him, like in one of my streams.
Yeah. Well, I had like a horde of brothers get killed, and then I had a bunch of Sparkies take on the Iron Golem, and they won.
Yes, you did.
Actually, that's a good point. Can 10 Sparkies defeat a already wounded Warden? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 4 withered Sparkies in there with the Sparks squad. Kirby Spark Squad. Oh, that's a point. I need to write that down. Oh my god, they're all going in! They're going in! They won! The Sparkies never lose! We only lost like 2. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only lost 1 Sparky. We only lost 1 Sparky. Sparky stays on top. That's because he got Andrew in him.
Well, the Warden can only hit one at a time, can't he?
Yeah.
Like, it can only damage one at a time, but it still aggroes the others.
I don't think it does aggro the others. Because it didn't do that with any of the others. Animatronics. I don't think it aggroes the others. I think it was just the fact that... I don't know. Sparky just is good like that. Sparky's just like the best FNAF character.
Iron Golem aggroes the others, but that's because the Iron Golem is better.
Nah. What character do we have in here that we could talk about next? Does anybody else other than me have headcanons for the, like, missing children and Charlie? Because let's be honest, outside of Charlie, we know fuck all about how the missing kids actually act. We know Susie had a dead dog and was sad.
Yes.
And also, like, coming home is semi-telling us stuff about Susie. But not really. It's like a different Susie.
Yes, other people do in fact have headcanons about missing children.
Yeah, but I meant in this call, dude. I'm not an idiot,
Well,
I know.
You know what? Do you want to know what I had canon about missing children?
Yeah?
Andrew's a vengeful spirit.
Kill yourself. Scott Cawthon is the greatest writer on earth. He makes Tolkien fucking look like a worm.
To be fair,
He makes
Tolkien
fucking look like a worm.
As much as I love Tolkien and his works, past a certain point, it does feel like he is writing just for the sake of writing. You know what I mean?
Oh, and FNAF doesn't have that problem?
No, like... I don't need to know the fucking... I forget what they're called. I don't need to know that Eru Iluvatar sent down Jesus Christ in the 7th era to fucking get
Revenge.
in the 7th age to fucking die for our sins.
I died for laughing. Me. Loser.
Andrew
I
died
don't-
for our sins.
Andrew is
I don't need to know that, like, during, like, after, like, in the 100 or so years after the events of Lord of the Rings, that, like, it eventually became a popular children's game for them to, like, you know how we've got, like, cowboys and Indians or cops and robbers in the real world?
Yeah.
It became a popular children's game for them to play fucking humans and orcs. That's an event that's like happened recently where a lot of people died very badly. Why are children making a game out of it? Did the education system fail that badly?
The children do that.
True.
I don't know. It's not the most outlandish thing.
I do not need to know that halfway through the 4th age, Gandalf came back for 3rd time, only this time he was missing his left nutsack.
That's not a thing.
Okay, I did make that one up.
Yeah. Oh, I actually built another Freddy's on another
Bullshit.
world. Since I'm done with this build, should I show the other Freddy's that I built on another world?
But
I might do that.
do you know what I did not make up?
Hey, hey.
That bit about Jesus Christ being the incarnation of Iluvatar and that bringing about the beginning of the 7th age is
hello,
fucking
Bernita.
canon.
You know, I don't hate that. I don't hate it. I don't despise it. Alright, let's swap worlds. So I can talk about my other restaurant.
We know
The off-camera restaurant.
the race of man was discovered fucking 16,065 years ago in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Why do we need to know this?
Prime time for jellies is the world that I built it on. Reading world data. So all this to say, Scott Coffin makes Tolkien look like a fucking worm.
All this to say that past a certain point, Tolkien was taking the piss.
I'm fine with that. He's a writer. He's gonna write.
Do you know what the Middle Earth version of a rapture is?
The Christian fucking rapture.
No. Because reminder, Christianity is canon to Middle Earth. That's how Jesus Christ being born is how the 7th age starts, right?
Yeah.
The end of the world, the Middle Earth
I never put a
version
sign.
of rapture is something called Dagor Dagorath, right? Now, just to be clear, dwarves, elves, hobbits, ents, they're all extinct by now. They don't exist anymore because we are
Dwarves?
currently in the 7th age. So this is
It's yours, my
Again,
friend.
orcs, trolls, dragons, balrogs. They
It's
don't
yours.
exist anymore, right? They're gone now. They're
Yeah.
not around here.
Game.
They, at some point in the future, they're all going to come back.
Uh-huh.
And they are going to have a big fight. And that is going to be the biblical Armageddon.
Oh dear. That's gonna suck. Oh well.
Like, the actual Armageddon mentioned in the Bible is going to be all those fantasy races coming back and fighting each other to the death.
You fucking laugh until Tolkien's right. He actually foresaw it. Bilbo said, when he told him about his tales in The Hobbit, he also said, oh yes, and about the way, Gandalf told me this about the end of the world.
I would actually kill myself if Tolkien was right about the end of the world.
And then he said, oh, by the way, in a few decades from now, this man called Scott Cawthon is going to be born, and he's going to make you look like a fucking worm.
This mangled Scott Cawthon is going to be born.
Also, you know, for some reason, despite this being, like, really far in the future, they're still going to be using, like, swords and horses. Like, cars, like, Tolkien knew we were in the 7th Age. He knew that, like, what we are doing now is canon.
Pretty Fazbear.
Right?
Yeah.
He knew that before Dagor Dagorath, there was going to be, like, cars and guns and bombs and fighter planes. And he decided, no, fuck that. The last battle to ever happen is going to be fought with swords. Which I kind of respect.
Alright, so here's the Freddy's that I built completely off camera. Here's the exterior of it, at least. I didn't hook this up to a map or anything. But I did put cameras down.
If Tom Bombadil is still around, who do you think he is?
Jesus.
Other than yourself.
Mr. Beast!
Mr. Beast is not Tom Bombadil.
We've got the starring posters on the outside. You come in here. Kitchen is right by the entrance, so you can come up here and order immediately, then get seated. Let's show the inside of the kitchen.
The only reason...
Oh, there's meant to be a menu here.
Despite the ring having no power over Tom, the only reason they didn't give it to him is because they were worried he'd get bored and, like, lose it somewhere. I don't think Tom Bombadil's got to be Mr. Beast. It's got to be someone who mindlessly drifts.
It's IShowSpeed.
Maybe it is Charlie, actually.
No, I would unironically say IShowSpeed would be this generation's Tom Bombadil. He might be.
IShowSpeed doesn't get, like, bored fast enough. Like, he became a Shaolin monk.
Maybe.
He went over to train with a Shaolin master and become a Shaolin monk.
Maybe he did that because
like,
he was bored.
But he didn't get bored partway through, which I feel Tom Bombadil would.
Vending machines. We got a red aesthetic in the kitchen. 2 microwaves. These are deep fryers.
Someone who mindlessly drifts is just like sort of a jolly little fella and likes like singing and shit like that. And doesn't stick with anything too long. It could actually, holy shit, it could actually be German.
You look like Tom Bombadil. Here's the stage. You'll notice that the Freddy's band has an additional member, and it's Sparky again. Okay, you might notice a theme with me and Sparky, and just inserting him every opportunity I get. Don't worry about it. He's just here.
Do you know what Tom Bombadil's elven name was?
Bomb Tombadil.
Iarwain Benadar, which means oldest and fatherless.
His name was Old Man Yowie, which predicts the Minecraft movie.
God damn it.
We got seating areas. These 6 party tables.
I was gonna complain about Old Man Yowie the other day as well.
Oh my frames. It's what happens when Jason Momoa and Jack Black make a movie together.
Because I was watching fucking G-Crooks, the 2nd episode of it. And
He's Candy Cadet. He has candy all day and every day.
Commander Paul lost like 30 pounds, and he's way younger than he was in the original series, And I don't know how that happened, but I think it's because they don't think like millennials and Gen Z like old man Yowie. They think the old man Yowie will scare them off, I believe.
From what I've seen, they absolutely love it.
They could have just brought Karma back and let Sharma be a thing again, and the Gen Z would be happy with that. Yeah, I'd be happy with that Yowie.
Candy Cadet also has his best friend, the Candy Bunny. They're just gonna be in this pizzeria now. We just got Candy Bunny here. She's looking at the animatronics. She's coming up with some theories about them, as you can see. She's also hopping in place.
As in the YouTuber?
Yeah. I saw Candy Cadet and then I thought Candy Bunny, so I just spawned a rabbit in and named it Candy Bunny. And she gravitated immediately towards the stage with the animatronics. She's theorizing about why Sparky is here. We've got Lemonade Clown as well, because I don't fucking know, dude. Lemonade Clown. This is the hallway that leads to the restrooms and an employees only room and an arcade. The restrooms are...
I have a theory about why Sparky's
the
here.
minimum.
No.
I don't even remember where that originally comes from. I just know it as the Andrew song now.
They need a fourth member of the band after Foxy got killed in the war.
They need a fourth member of the band. The real reason is they need a fourth member of the band because I made the stage even, so I couldn't have Freddy in the dead center.
No. They need a fourth member of the band because Foxy got killed in the war and so can't be here with them.
Counter argument. Foxy is here in his own room here. This is like a drawing art room. Why is Funtime Foxy here, you ask? I say fuck off. No, Funtime Foxy is here because I prefer how he looks to how Toy Foxy looks. That's the only reason.
Funtime Foxy is like the proof that the Foxys... No, the Funtimes predate the MCI.
Like, this is like an art room. That's why the floor is like this. Like, different kind of texture. Fruit Punch Clown is in here, because this is more like a party room. So, you got Lemonade Clown in the main area serving the fizzy drinks, and Fruit Punch Clown is serving, like, fruit punch in here. And then there's this... There's two parts and services here. One of them is there, which I'll get to in a second. Here's the arcade real quick, where we have prize corner with plushies. I'll put some masks there as well. Bunny, Foxy, and Freddy. Okay, I'm gonna need to put these down in order to put the masks. There we go. So yeah, the restroom hallway leads to this employees only hall, which is where everyone gets their lockers. There's an employee room, of course. Billboard. Not too much in here. Purple couches. This is the supply closet, which also has the switch to power the entire building. I just put it here because this is where I had space for the redstone. Then we have our office here. The office has a window that leads directly into Foxy's room, and it has a door behind us. And the monitor is not actually hooked to the cams, but...
Are you a believer in Ozdad Bully?
What?
Ozdad Bully is what I'm calling it.
Ozdad Bully. The Oswald's dad.
Oswald's dad is the Freddy Bully.
The Freddy Bully? Well, now I think we're just assigning things to things because we don't have anything else for this character.
He has a Freddy mask in the attic.
Okay.
I assume a lot of those exist.
Where did, like, Help Wanted 2 protagonist being Bonnie Bully even come from?
Okay, so it comes from... Obviously, he's got a Bonnie mask. It comes
what?
from... He's got a Bonnie mask.
What?
He has a Bonnie mask.
Where? Where's the Bonnie mask?
he gets it. You do the grave order and you get the Bonnie mask from the box.
Wait, specifically fucking Bonnie?
Yeah, only the Bonnie one.
What?
Specifically the Bonnie mask.
Why?
Also-
Wait, are they cooking?
Oh no, the reason he gets the Bonnie mask is because he is Cassie's dad.
And Bonnie's his favorite?
And Bonnie is his favourite.
Because he was the Bonnie bully?
Well, he gets a Bonnie mask and we know he loves Bonnie.
And he's also been to Sister Location before because it said so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, this employees only room. This is like... This is where the exit is, this is where it leads into the kitchen, and this is where parts and service is.
There is an achievement.
Got a few spring Bonnie heads here. Because the spring suits are in operation in this facility, or at least were at a point. Golden Freddy's here. Hello.
And I think he's also called Jeremy.
Oh,
Which would be a
no.
third Jeremy. There is an achievement you get for getting that Bonnie mask called Lost Luggage.
Called You Are the Bonnie Bully.
Which implies it's lost luggage, so it's something that he has had before and he is retrieving again. So he has had a Bonnie mask before.
Let's get into the... Well, I think this is the only room I haven't shown here. The employees only
it's
parts and
big.
service in Foxy's area.
And when they find the Bonnie mask in Princess Crest 4, it's stated that it looks familiar.
It's got a bunch
Which
of
also
Foxy
implies that you've
parts.
had one before.
We've got an old toy. Don't mind him. And we've got, well,
And
this guy.
And you do. The Help Wanted 2 Pro Tag is aware of Jeremy of the MCI, not Jeremy of the cut his face off of a guillotine paper cutter.
Yeah.
Which implies he was around at least at the time of the MCI in 1985. It's
So-
not a stretch to say if they were there in 1985 and have that memory of it, that they might have been there even earlier.
So why is Puppet in a parts and service room with Foxy? Well, because they wanted the Puppet to be in operation here, but it was borked from the rain, and also it's being fucking weird and doing shit it shouldn't be doing, so they threw it in the back, in the music box, and scrapped it. So in this location, Puppet is scrapped, but these other guys are all here, and so is Sparky. And Golden Freddy is also not in use right now. Is Sparky possessed? Possibly, but it's also possible that William decided for his final victim not to put it in Sparky, but instead he decided Sparky's not a Springlock suit, so he decided let's do a funny experiment.
Now hold on. You are making a lot of assumptions here.
In this
Namely the Sparky.
in this pizzeria,
Name-
Sparky's not a Springlock suit. I've seen things saying it is.
Not a spring suit.
I've seen a VHS series where Sparky just straight up is a spring suit and someone dies inside him.
I do think Sparky being a Springlock suit would make sense actually.
Maybe.
Or at least not necessarily being an animatronic first, but being a mascot suit that's worn. Because they have replacement suits that might not be entirely appropriate, and questions regarding the appropriateness should be avoided.
Yeah. I use that line as the explanation as for why Happy Frog was in the museum in the FNAF 3 Fright build. It's a misfit suit of questionable appropriateness.
I like to think the mediocre melodies were owned by Fazbear Entertainment as like the parent company that owns their company.
Yeah. It's likely.
That would kind of help explain how Fazbear Entertainment stayed afloat after all the stuff with FNAF 1 and FNAF 2.
Yeah.
Because they would have these, like, oh, this restaurant with animatronic performers got shut down because of problems. Okay, cool. Why don't we just go to the other one across town?
Yeah, nobody wanted to kill and stuff children inside of Happy Frog, Orville, or Mr. Hippo.
Well, maybe they did. Maybe that's why all those people in the happiest day with funny masks.
They're alive! You said this earlier.
I did say that they are alive, yes. Well, that explains it perfectly because no one wanted to go kill kids and stuff from those suits.
Just like nobody wanted to kill and put someone inside of Sparky, even in the movie. Instead they went so far as to, Sparky? Nah, hey, we've got this purple fucking Freddy for no goddamn reason at all. Let's put someone inside of this.
Now, hold on. I think... Is it purple? Or is it the lighting?
It's purple!
It's fucking great!
Is it purple or is it the lighting?
Purple.
Is it purple or is
Purple.
it
I think we see behind the scenes, like, images of it, and it's purple.
What colour is Bonnie?
Blue.
What colour is that purple suit in the movie?
Purple.
No.
Yes. Bonnie is very... Look at this Bonnie. Look at Bonnie and Shadow Freddy next to each other. One's purple, one's blue.
Is it...
Also, he's missing an ear. Also, he's missing an ear. Also, he's missing an ear.
Gonna find those BTS... Damn, that is purple.
Yeah, what were you trying to get at there?
How are they
Mr. Contrarian?
But how are they stuffing inside Shadow Freddy?
I don't fucking know. They did it, though. Maybe it's so that Shadow Freddy can have a fucking character arc in the second movie? I don't know.
Oh, God. The torch... Okay, we do have the full Torture Freddy suit that the head was taken from as well. Well, I say full suit. It's missing a leg, and its torso, and its head. Five Nights at Freddy's film bots. There's a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza fandom page for all of them. Right? You've got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Withered variants for toys. Spring Bonnie and Ella are both listed under Springlock hybrids. Is Movie... Well, Movie Ella does look to be a Springlock suit, don't they?
Movie Ella is straight up a Springlock suit. It's got the same things that are inside Spring Bonnie that go in William. And you can distinctly see Chica pushing Abby into them. I don't know, I guess for some reason they had like a bunch of weird misfit Springlock suits, and Sparky, I guess, is probably one of them.
Isn't... Oh, in the novelization, Ella was described as being more similar to Sex Babe with red pigtails and a white smile, evidently changed for fan product. True.
Yeah, weird.
Ella is the only animatronic character from the Fazbear Frights novel series to be added in the film.
She's not from Fazbear Frights, though. She's from Silver Eyes.
Yeah, they're not. Both there is a chance for dog named Sparky by the community is based on Fetch. No.
It's not Fetch, it is fucking Sparky, quite clearly.
Ella, from the novel... And... Ella is originally from the novel trilogy, and she was literally just a doll with, like, wheels on the feet so she could go along a little railroad and go back into the closet.
Yeah. In fact, the Ella doll in Frights isn't even, like... The Ella doll in Frights, I don't even know if it's, like, possessed at all. I'm pretty sure the Stitch Race thing has described everything paranormal the Ella doll does isn't even the Ella doll doing it. Eleanor is just outside of the girl's house the entire time doing those things. So it's not even anything paranormal by the Ella doll. I don't know if Eleanor even fucked with that. She just pretended to.
My humble weed whacker.
Here's a thought about Fazbear Frights. What if they are in-universe?
Fright's fiction! Hello, Foxy.
obviously the survival logbooks in universe, right?
Yeah, that's quite clear.
What? So that, well, obviously because it's an in-universe book that Mike and the spirits have written in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be from any one location. Because it can't be from FNAF 1 or FNAF 2.
I think it gets updated as time goes on, yeah.
Because it has that page about the Springlock suits, and I don't think they'd print that in a, security logbook for one of those locations, seeing as the suits are retired by then. And it has to be after Fazbear Fright, because,
Yeah.
it's got the Fazbear Fright's office in it.
I find it interesting that this Sparky has a different, head to this Bonnie, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure they did just straight up, use a Bonnie head to make Sparky in the actual movie.
In universe, is the survival logbook the same thing it is out of universe?
I don't know.
A kiddie book published by fucking Scholastic for them so that they can have a fun little gift thingy to sell to kids. Because why would a security logbook for a security guard have a word search in it?
I don't know, but Cassidy and Crying Child use it. And I don't think they use every single copy. Unless they use the original copy that then gets printed to be every single copy.
No, I'm not implying that everything that's in there is printed. I am implying that the book itself, if we ignore everything that's been added in after the book was printed, is an in-universe thing that they sell in gift shops.
Yeah.
And this is just a copy that Mike bought.
Yeah, and Mike bought it for some goddamn reason as a fully grown-ass adult.
Well, and the reason they are in this is because it is Mike's copy.
Hey, if I...
Because of course Bite Victim's spirit would have some connection to Mike.
Hey, next time you disagree with me, I'm gonna put your face in the thumbnail and make make your eyes hyper-saturated blue.
Next time you disagree with me, I'm gonna Photoshop your eyes black and make them MS Paint draw black tears coming from them like that one kid in the FNAF movie.
Next time you disagree with me, I'm gonna put you in a fucking boiling hot plate and just serve you up on a silver platter to the richest scumbags in the world.
This is something Cassidy would say. Next time you disagree with me, I'm gonna boil you and serve you.
Next time you disagree with me, I'm gonna rhyme.
William Afton moment.
You cooked her and served her to her family. I have not clicked on a single one of those videos talking about that thing because I don't fucking care.
I have apparently clicked on both of them, and you know what's most annoying?
It won't stop recommending it even since.
No. I do not remember a single thing about them.
About what?
Okay, so there's a VHS series that apparently William cooks and serves the kids to their families, according to these thumbnails.
So, I distinctly remember watching the video about the one where he cooks and serves the kids to their families. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I can remember is that he wasn't luring kids to the back room. He was doing that because it was intentionally giving them parasites which would kill them after the fact. So he'd kill kids, cook them into the food, and then serve that to other kids to give those kids parasites, which would then kill those kids in the hospital, and it couldn't be traced back to him.
FNAF if Scott Cawthon wrote it. I mean...
I love.
Right. Missing children headcanons. Freddy Fazbear. Ooh. I think, and I've seen this in someone's FNAF movie retake that's 2 hours long, and I watched the full thing. That Freddy.
Of course you did.
Freddy is an incredibly judgmental spirit. Not in the terms of he's vengeful, but he judges you, and if you fuck something up, say completely hypothetical, you get mad at your dead brother for haunting you, and you tell him to stop it, and Freddy sees that, he's like, oh, you're gonna die for that one.
So let's say I go to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza for the night shift, and I show up like 30 minutes early so I can make myself a nice ham and pineapple pizza to eat on my shift. Freddy is going to judge me for that.
Freddy will be like, this guy's living like this place is a luxury, this place is a fucking nightmare, and let's show him that. Bonnie, Chica, get off the stage right now and kill him. And Bonnie and Chica will be like, yes sir, yes sir.
Or,
Because
hear me out,
they
he might
listen to
be-
Freddy.
Or, hear me out, he might be, damn, it looks like he was really hungry. It's kind of sad that he's coming here to have dinner before work. Like, this is the best he can do.
Maybe, but also, like, dead child, like, you know, Freddy is smarter and more intelligent than the other spirits, but he's, like, still not at the level that Charlie is. FNAF 1 shows
Speaking
that with how he goes about
I
approaching the
imagine-
office.
I imagine Freddy could probably put 2 and 2 together and figure out I don't like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Speaking of dead children, have you heard the theory that Wally from Pokemon died at Victory Road?
Yes.
He's just on.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a popular creepypasta. There's a popular creepypasta based on that, where like his whole family is sad, and like I don't fucking remember exactly what happens in it, but there is a creepypasta based on the fact that Wally asphyxiates and fucking dies at Victory Road because of his illness. I have never really enjoyed it very much, but it's definitely funny to read.
Yeah.
As are many creepypastas.
I will say it's impressive that Wally made it as far as they did.
Yeah, but that's the point. You're supposed to be
Give it a-
impressed by
that
his,
is
like,
the
determination. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be like, oh, actually, he fucking died. She freaking died!
I think Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald have the weakest rivals of any Pokemon gen.
Maybe. There's not really much to May or Brendan as a character, is there?
Or as lifted
Is-
Wally, but not enough.
I like them. I like them
Or
all.
as does do a lot for
I
Wally.
like May. I like Brendan. I like Wally.
I don't hate them. They just don't do much. Brendan and May specifically. They're all just like, oh, hello, you're
May-
here too? I've collected this Pokemon. Let's fight.
May and Brendan both decide to quit Pokemon battling halfway through the fucking game.
What? Okay, I don't remember that. Jesus Christ.
They just decide they don't want to do the fucking Pokemon League anymore and go home
Oh.
halfway
Yeah.
through the fucking game. And no one ever remembers that, but they just disappear halfway through the game, and that's the reason. Like, they tell it to you that
Oh,
they're doing
no.
that, and then they just never show up again.
I think I mainly want to, like, go through relationships within, like, the animatronics, rather than just
And then
talk
you
about
get-
them as individuals.
And then
It
you get
isn't.
no rival battle for, like, forever,
Like,
and then you get Wally at Victory Road.
It is interesting to have a rival that doesn't carry through the whole game, but they don't execute it in an impactful enough way.
And, like, it would have been cool if it shifted to Wally being your primary rival after that, but it doesn't really do that.
No.
Yeah, because they make a point to have Wally be much further ahead and silently get much further ahead of you.
But
So
no,
you don't see him much.
it's not even a case that he's much further ahead of you or out like that, because, I mean, you don't fall behind him that much. Like, you hit Victory Road at a similar time.
So, Freddy and Bonnie.
He's
Bonnie-
at least
Bonnie is, like... In my mind, Bonnie is one of the younger of the spirits. Probably, like, second youngest of the MCI. So Bonnie follows Freddy pretty closely because Freddy is the one that seems to know what he's doing the most. And he trusts Freddy. But also when Freddy is pissed off, like... I feel like when Freddy is actively pissed and has to get off the stage himself, the others get kind of scared of him. Because, like... Because Freddy is one of the more brutal. And also because he knows more what he's doing. He's more conscious about what he's doing. Chica also follows Freddy. But, like, Chica and pretty much Susie mostly, like, acts towards Bonnie as kind of, like... They're kind of, like, semi-siblings. Where, like, Susie wants to keep Jeremy happy because Jeremy is a very sad guy because he's sad because he died. And Chica, even though Chica thinks that their situation's hopeless, she still like wants to look out and protect Jeremy. Foxy's an outcast. Foxy avoids the others because Foxy Foxy is inconsolably afraid of the whole situation. Like, there's not much talking that can be done to him, unless you're Charlie and you are very, very determined. So Foxy is probably, like, the most scared of Freddy when he gets angry.
Oh, give over, you fucking stupid. Yeah.
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 Someone made a theory that Chica's cupcake is possessed by her dog. Because of the way it acts in the movie.
I think the cupcake's actually possessed by... I don't play video games no more. Never play it.
And to be fair, in the movie, like, I can't remember who said it. It might have been T-Dreads. Like, in the movie, the cupcake is one bark away from basically being a chihuahua.
I think in the movie the cupcake's one bark away from being Tree.
I want to play Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach with Jack Black.
If it's like a video game. Now, we know a lot about Charlie. Charlie is obviously, like, very protective of the others. She and Cassidy are both the most aware and powerful spirits, which makes me feel like she and Cassidy, because they're the most aware, like, take advantage of that to, like, communicate with each other more than the other spirits talk to each other. I feel like Cassidy and Charlie are very, very close.
I feel like Jack Black would be one of few people to enjoy Security Breach just because he's looking for a good time and actually not have too much get in the way of the experience.
Yeah. Like, I really like to believe that freeing Bite Victim is, like, a joint effort between Cassidy and the puppet together. While, as they both try to build Happiest Day.
I think it's a joint effort between Cassidy and Andrew.
Fuck off. Andrew wouldn't do shit. Andrew wouldn't fucking care. Andrew would be the one that needs freed, like he is in Stitch Wraith. If he was, like, tasked with freeing someone else, he wouldn't. Jake has to fucking hard carry the Stitch Wraith. I'm sorry. But Andrew is a little shit. And people want to say that Cassidy's not the vengeful spirit because she's not a one-dimensional character like Andrew is. And she actually cares about Bite Victim.
Do you think if Cassidy were ever... Like, if Cassidy were the vengeful spirit...
She is. She fucking is. But, like, yeah. By the time of Happiest Day, like... By the time of Happiest Day and, like... Let's just say the fucking missing children move on in Happiest Day, because Molten Freddy can suck a cock. So, like, by the time of Happiest Day, Bite Victim finally moves on. The other, like, four move on. Maybe Charlie, like, had a, like, intuition beforehand, but she looks, and Cassidy is still there. And she's like, oh, you're staying? And Cassidy's like, yeah. Yeah, I'm staying. I'm not... He's still out there, you know he's still out there. And he's gonna get up again, like I did. It's not over. And she's like, yeah, I know. So then they stick around for FNAF 3. God knows where Cassidy is in FNAF 6. Maybe Henry kind of forgot about her. I don't know. She's kind of mysteriously not accounted for in the game that accounts for all of the leftover spirits.
Lacey is the vengeful...
What? Lacey is the vengeful Cassidy?
No, I said Lacey's the vengeful spirit. What the fuck?
Lacey is the vengeful Cassidy. Andrew is the vengeful Cassidy.
Lacey is the vengeful Cassidy.
Also, anybody who thinks the final cutscene of UCN is Cassidy moving on, you are just incorrect, I'm afraid to say, because when you look at, like, every single time moving on is depicted in the FNAF franchise, and it is the polar fucking opposite of what is happening with Cassidy in that cutscene.
Yeah.
That cutscene is Cassidy staying there, refusing to move on. Is it canon? Who knows? Maybe it's a bad ending. Someone proposed the idea that it's a bad ending where William beats the hardest thing Cassidy can throw at him, And so she just keeps going forever and ever, and William just keeps beating it over and over. Whereas Ultimate Consequences ending is a good ending where Cassidy gives in. That is a potential, like, explanation of what's going on with UCN. Where Cassidy finally lets herself rest, while William will continue to be tormented even without her. Now, I don't know yet whether my Cassidy would decide to do that. I know that Charlie definitely worries for Cassidy, because Charlie's main goal is making sure all of the spirits are free, and Cassidy actively refuses to be set free, because she says that this is what she wants, but Charlie doesn't know if that's, like, right.
He doesn't know that shit.
Also, my Cassidy is not keeping the spirits trapped in UCN, because what the... it's not a thing she does. I don't care what Withered Bonnie says. She's not... The guys are not physically there in UCN. That is not the other spirits. Nightmare Fredbear's a weird one in UCN. Because I don't know if you've heard about Nightmare Fredbear in UCN. Nightmare Fredbear says some interesting things that imply, like... It implies some form of bite victim being, like, within him. Because it seems like what he says are direct responses to what Fredbear Plush says in the Night 6 cutscene. You know, Fredbear Plush says, "We are still your friends. Do you still believe that?" Nightmare Fredbear in UCN says, "We know who our friends are, and you are not one of them." So it seems like he's responding to it. And also, of course, he says, "Let me put you back together and tear you apart all over again." So, like, I'm pretty sure Bite Victim is not still around by the time of UCN, but Nightmare Fredbear in UCN contains, like the memories or whatever. Like, it's a projection of Crying Child. And, like, it's like Crying Child finally understanding that Fredbear Plush was never his friend and it was his dumbass dad the whole time. And of course, Cassidy, that's what Cassidy is going to use with the remnants of Crying Child. She's going to make sure, like, Nightmare Fredbear is telling William that his son fucking hates him. And, like, just Nightmare Fredbear's voice in general, and the fact that there's, like, a raspy, high-pitched voice behind his voice, implying that there's, like, a childlike voice behind him. Like Bite Victim. The voice actor has said about Nightmare Fredbear that it is 4 voices. Nightmare Fredbear has 4 voices talking at once. So it is more than just him and Crying Child, but one of those voices sounds like a child. And maybe that's intentional. I don't know. Because we know what Nightmare says in UC, and he's like, "I am your wickedness made of flesh. I'm here to claim what is left of you." And then Nightmarion is like, "I am the fearful reflection of what you did." That one's pretty obvious. Nightmarion is the puppet. William's first crime, most likely, is him killing Charlie. So in UCN, Nightmarion is there to be like, "Fuck you, you killed Charlie." Which Cassidy is still very, very upset about because she likes Charlie. So she creates a whole ass entity based off of "fuck you, you killed Charlie." They are bestie chum-chums, Cassidy and Charlie, and you can't convince me otherwise. I like the interviewed series and what that does with Lefty and Cassidy, but it's not my interpretation. I still enjoy it.
Hello. Can I just say Mr. Wicked's probably the worst villain in FNAF? Not worst as in quality, worst as in, like, most vile, vicious, malicious.
Well, Miss Wicked created the fun times.
Yeah, and she created the unfun times. who do exactly what the Fun Times are doing, but backwards.
Well, they take the kids out of the fun times and then bring them back to life. And then William hands them like a lollipop and he's like, "How did you rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10?" And the kid's like, "Yeah."
No, it doesn't even happen because it's just counter.
That would be amazing if like the Shadow Freddy acted as like Shadow Freddy acted as like anti-puppet and was doing the exact same thing the puppet did but backwards, and that's why she can't save them in Save Them, because Shadow Freddy cancelled her actions out. That's a really funny interpretation. Shadow Freddy just fucking cancels out Charlie's actions, and that's why he's following William. And that's why Charlie doesn't actually do anything in FNAF 3. In FNAF 3, Charlie attempts to attack William, but at the same time, Shadow Freddy is doing the same thing backwards, so it cancels out. And then in FNAF 6, the puppet's inside Lefty, but she can't do anything to William, because Shadow Freddy's still there doing the same thing but backwards.
Anti-Charlie theory.
Anti-Charlie theory is like my new favorite interpretation of Shadow Freddy. That's what he exists to do. He exists specifically to give Charlie the middle finger. William created him to do that when he saw the puppet acting up. But he never thought to make an anti-Cassidy. So when Cassidy does what she does, there's no anti-Cassidy to do it in reverse.
I think... bear with me on this. Bear with me. Yeah. Okay, continue. Yeah.
Alright.
No,
I should start wrapping up. I'm not sure what I'll stream tomorrow now that I've finished Fazbear Fright.
it's only a nice one.
I will figure it out though. It's 10 past 11. That's like beyond when I usually stop. Well, no, it is about when I usually stop, but I like stopping at around 11 o'clock.
That's because you've got issues.
I don't have issues. It's not an issue. It's fine. But thank you all for tuning in for finishing up Fazbear's Fright with me, and then touring another pizzeria I made, talking a shit ton about Five Nights at Freddy's, because I am still incredibly obsessed with this series, even after all the years have gone by. I'm so glad this mod exists. I really am. I'm still waiting in eager anticipation of the update. The update that will change my life.
All my life.
I'm gonna have to go because I need to be in work for like 7:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm finishing up now, so yeah. Thanks everybody. Dude, don't kill yourself. 1.4 isn't out yet. That's not the first time I've told myself that. I told myself that about Terraria as well.
And about 2017X?
What? 1.4 2017X? What does that mean?
Don't kill yourself because 2017X will be disappointed in you.
You're not very good at this, he'd tell me.
Was it 2017X?
No, I said I have said stuff like that before, but like specifically here because Don't Kill Yourself 1.4 isn't out yet applies to Terraria in the past and Management Wanted now.
Yeah. What else have you said not to? What else have you decided not to kill yourself because of?
What the fuck is this conversation? The fact that I've actually, like, started thinking about that in attempt to answer as well, holy shit.
Me? Probably not.
Like, in terms of, like, anticipation of things releasing, the Nintendo Switch 2, Don't Kill Yourself, that's not out yet.
No.
I don't know.
That's a recent one, though.
Yeah.
You saying Switch 2 has me concerned.
No, it's a joke, really, that one. I haven't, like, been like that in a while. Music. I'm supposed to stop the music.
Music festival.
Pause, please. Oh, God.
I've got to be honest, if 2017X had had more of a positive impact on your life
No.
I am
No,
gonna cry.
that is a joke. That's a bit that like 2017X is this. It saved my life. That is a fucking joke.
I mean, I sure as hell didn't, so...
Yes, he did. Well,
Aww.
it's like
What do you mean, well?
well means like you haven't like I don't know. It's because it's weird to talk about on stream. That's
Okay,
why. I need to finish up. Be sure to tune in for tomorrow's stream once I decide what that's going to
Let
be.
me outdoor channel.
I'm sure
What
it'll
the
be fun.
fuck?
What was that?
What the fuck?
I have no idea what that was. Oh well.
That was meant to be the gravity core sound effect. I think it's been replaced. I apologize.
Oh. Well, hold on. I've got a soundboard. I've got a soundboard for goodbyes. It's like, where is it? 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 Where is it?
Jesus Christ.
Where is it? Where is it?
Okay.
Hello.
Shit. Oh well.